Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Good afternoon, good evening, and fucking good night. Why the fuck is that playing again? People, sorry about the noise. Sorry about the late entrance. Do you know what? Yeah, the M1 was messed up, and I came back from a funeral today, and it was just mad. I ain't even gonna lie to you, people, it's just mad. If my voice sounds a bit croaky, it's only because I had a cold. It was my birthday. What was it? Wednesday. So man was celebrating hard. You get what I'm saying? From the parade and all sorts. So let me not forget my manners with what I'm saying. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night to my people. I hope you're all doing well. Whether you're watching this live or you can be watching it tomorrow or the next day or the next day. Do me a favor, hit them likes. Do me a favor, subscribe. And if you're in a sharing mood, if you're in a caring mood, please share. This is what I'm saying, people. So today on Friday Night Madness, and some of the usuals will be popping up a bit later. Just give them time. They what I'm saying. Black is just finished finishing off a stream and stuff like that, so he will pass through. Big up for Prem in a row. Yeah, big up, large up each and every time. This is what I'm saying. Manners and respect. Yeah. Yo, Lewis, what's going on? Florida, what's good? They see me rolling. They hating, patrolling. No, I'm just joking. So today, people, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about troops. What troops he said. What troops said, responding back to what's his name? That Simon Jordan dude. This is what I'm saying. The pussy that likes to be controversial. You know what I'm saying? My man's taking shots at brothers. You get me? We're not having that. Today we're going to be talking about. Also, we're going to talking about Arsenal lifting a trophy. The so-called just over a million people going to the parade and people that was not wanted, and many, many more. Even the issues that's gone on within the streaming team. You know what I'm saying? So today it's about football, but it's about so much more. So much more. This is what I'm saying. Big up H even each and every single time. Apologies, people. My voice is fucked. Tuesday, the parade, and I caught a cold just after my birthday because it was just a madness. This is what I'm saying. The wife put me up. I hate my birthday because I don't like getting old. I don't like celebrating. I'm getting old. But you know what? Yeah, it seems like a person that hates celebrating things, right? My wife is always celebrating. Do you know what I'm saying for my birthday? So shout out each and every time. Says, man like Donchenko, fellow champion, big up, brother. Yes. Do you know what? Yeah. Champions, ole, ole, ole. Excuse me. Like I said, I got a little bit of cold, but it's all good. Yes, my brother. Big up Gunner G inside. This is what I'm saying. If you can see his caption, it says champions. So do you know I'm gonna say champione, champione, ole, ole, ole. But we've got our first guest right now. We've got a Newcastle done. Sometimes he can be an arsehole. But you know my favorite word? My favorite word is he's a prick. Yeah? No. It's a pussy hole. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big up man like 10 each and every time. What you saying, my brother? I hope you're all good, family.
Yeah, doing good. What do you mean? I'm now a Spanish national football team fan. Club football does not exist to me for the month
No,
of June and
yeah,
July.
I don't care, bro. We are champions. So do you know when you come into the stream, yeah, I like your trim still. When you come to the stream, yeah, you gotta say big up, Mister, yeah, Don Champione, Champione, ole, ole, ole. That ain't
But
happening, is it?
no.
Nah, it's not gonna happen. But big up Ravi each and every time, yeah. He says big up the birthday crew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Happy
big up
birthday.
everyone. That's thank you, brother. Thank you. Big up everyone that's in and around this month. This is what I'm saying. Like it's been a tough one, and I'm still celebrating. And tomorrow's gonna be another fucking mad day. But I'm hoping that it's the last time, the last day for this celebration thing, because everybody seems that they want to have a drink, bro. And you see my liver, it's got to be taken care of. You get me? Oh. But yeah, before all of the man them start, yeah, before everyone else starts coming through. First and foremost, I want to open up and say, okay, this week I think it was Tuesday that Simon Jordan on Talk Sport said something about troops. Well, he mentioned his name, right? The fact that you see him them in AFTV, And the thing is, I've got no links to them. This is what I'm saying. Like, so for me, it's just more for the conversation factor, the Donversation, or I should say, Donversation TV people. Make sure you like and subscribing. It's more as now big mainstream, yeah. People that's getting paid for this, not people like me, not people like you. This is what I'm saying. People that doesn't even need to get monetized. They literally studied for this, and then they're out here calling out YouTubers. This is what I'm saying, because in national fact, they are just YouTubers. You get me? Yeah. They're saying that, like, people like us, yeah, people with an opinion now have have kind of killed or is killing football, right? Or people like us shouldn't really celebrate the high points of our clubs where they're doing well. Did you watch the Troops thing?
No.
Okay. All right then. What I'm gonna do is big up each and every one inside you. What I'm saying, like Mr. Josh, like and subscribe, S Tanic, you know what I'm saying? Just like and subscribe each and every time, yeah. Yo, do you know what? Yeah, big up Troops for this one, yeah. I'm gonna be playing this, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the stream, I'm gonna play it so you can hear it firsthand, and I want you to give your opinion on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try not to stop it too much, yeah. But I think that this needs to get a lot of airplay as well, because like you see, someone like me, right? Someone like me is very vocal when it comes to people giving their opinion, and especially as I'm all about people that's literally done their thing throughout the time, and also like made it possible for people like me. But I'll get to that, yeah. Let's just listen to what he's gonna say. Let's just listen to what he's gonna say real quick, people. You know what I'm saying? Before we actually dissect it and then go on and do his thing. That so big up Troops each and every time. That's what I'm saying. So he's responding to Talk Sport, yeah.
But I'm here now. You get me? Because I've been called out. I've been called out again by the orange flare, the sunbed using Oompa Loompa. That is Simon Jordan. You get me? Man cooked this guy 7 years ago, and now he's come back again for another cooking, blood. You get me? He did take my advice, though. You understand? Because if you go back and look at that 2019 video when Robbie cooked him, yeah, his hair was mad thin, bro. You understand? I told him with all that money, you need to chat to your barber. I think the brother went turkey because his hair is looking a lot better than it was at that time. You get me? My thing's natural, though. Yeah, this ain't turkey. You get me? You can blatantly see it's a turkey thing because the way your thing was thin like silver Rizzler, blood. That's how thin your hair was, bro. Do you understand? Now it's looking like, you get me? You can get a brand deal from L'Oreal. You understand? You could fully get that right now, blood. You get me? But we are here because you, yet again, running up your mouth, blood. You get me? I'm here, minding my business, enjoying being Premier League champions, enjoying being an Arsenal fan, yet again, blood. You get me? But I got this idiot, yeah, running up his mouth in the TalkSport studios, blood. Now, I never speak on this man because he ain't on my radar, blood. You understand? I'm in my lane, I'm doing my thing, and I just keep it like that, blood. You know what I mean? This brother here, he's saying that in the small world that we are, meaning the YouTube space, it's obviously not that small though, is it, blood? Because you're here talking about me on big mainstream radio, blood. You get me? Remember, I'm not in the industry. I'm the one they keep out the industry, blood. I'm on the borderline. I'm not even on borderline, bro. I'm just here. Freelance. Own man. My IP. I mean, you're a worker. You understand? You have a boss. I ain't got a boss. You used to be a boss. But then what happened to Crystal Palace? You nearly ran them into the ground, bro. You understand? People have to come and save them from administration. You get me? But you obviously got your money back up finally because your hair's looking pretty decent, blood. You get me? Maybe you're jealous that I went to the parade and you couldn't go to the Crystal Palace parade. Is it that?
Because yes, people. If you can't hear it, just let me know. But the only reason why I'm just letting it play through is because Ten hasn't heard this before. So I don't actually really want to be starting and stopping. I'm going to play it through. and we're going to give our comments on it and so forth. Chat. Once you listen to it, give your own view. This is what I'm saying, because this is a conversation that we need to be having today. And this is how we're going to start this stream.
Because it just seems, you get me, a lot of jealousy, a lot of undertone, you know what, blood, a lot of undertone racism, blood, you get me? Because man's out here saying that, you get me, Goldbridge is doing it the right way, Goldbridge is making his money for himself. So what do you think I'm making my money for? Do you think I'm flooding the streets of London with drugs and guns? Do you think I'm a fucking leader of a gang? What do you think this is, bro? Why is Goldbridge doing it the right way, and me, Robbie, AFTV aren't doing it the right way? Why is that? Why is that? Why do you think that? Why do you like Goldbridge but you don't like us? You understand? You love coming with your undertone about saying things that people can't understand. People understand me, bro. You understand? People understand me, bro. Trust me. You get me? And it's because of pricks like you. Yeah? Because of idiot people that you stuck up streets of piss like yourself.
Damn.
Yeah. Why? I made Truth TV, bro. You understand? To give people like me a platform. To give people like me a place to say what they think. Because you, man, ain't giving us the opportunity. You lot look down on us. You understand? You're in your nice studio, getting your nice little wage. You get me? Doing your thing nice and comfortable. Big camera. You understand? Big mainstream radio. You get me? Loving life, bro. You understand? I'm in my little thing. Get me? Pushing along. You feel me? Representing the culture. You understand? You don't represent that, bro. You get me? So you will never understand why we do what we do, bro. You understand? You are just an absolute hater, bro. You get me? Every time your views are low, you talk about us. Every time there's a slow news day, they talk about us, bro. You understand? There's millions of people you could talk about, bro. You understand? But you're here talking about me, blood. You get me? But you talk about how you ran your club into the ground. You understand? But you talk about how you was a former millionaire, a business tycoon, and now you're sitting on a fucking radio show Monday to Friday.
Damn.
How the mighty have fallen, blood. You understand? I remember you said that we would rub out when Arsenal start winning again. Guess who's still here 10 years later?
You got troops for that.
Mr. Truth, bro. You get me? You just talk a lot of shit, bro. You understand? And my problem with you is that you won't ever buck, man. You won't ever meet me and we have a debate on live air or on whatever platform you want to do it. You just run up your mouth, you ignorant, pompous-looking prick. That's what you are, bro. You understand? You little flipping boarding school youth, blood. You understand? You ain't got a clue about real life, blood. Yeah, you ain't got a clue about trenches, bro. You understand? You ain't got a clue, mate. You get me? Your life is nice, comfy. You feel me? Always looking down at a certain genre of people. And why is that, bro? You understand? We already know your views on certain things in the country, bro. So I know what side you're on. You get me? And it's not even surprising, bro. You understand? But what's surprising is that Arsenal are in a good place, yeah, and we're getting criticized for celebrating. They used to criticize me for calling out the fuckery, and now I'm getting criticized for celebrating. You know, when you can't win, you can't do right. Whatever you do, it's not right. You understand? You support the club, it's not right. You portray proudness, you portray pride, it's not right. Bro. You understand? We must just let you lot control the narrative, listen to everything you say, and just sit in the corner and put a dummy in on that. That's how you lot want it. You want it to go back to how it was when you lot had all the power. And the only way we would know things is by watching your broadcasting channels. You feel me? Whether it's the radio, whether it's the TV, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is, bro. You understand? But now there is a new form of media. Fan media, bro. You get me? Real fans. You understand? Ones that go to games. You get me?
Okay. Yeah. Did you get it? That it does go on for another 2 minutes, yeah, but it's kind of saying the same kind of things with a little bit more, a few more insults towards Simon Jordan and so forth. In my opinion, he's valid, but we'll get onto my opinion afterwards. When you when you saw that, what did you make of it?
I mean, I don't really know exactly. Obviously, I don't really listen to talk shit, as most people would like to call them, but. Because obviously I can see it on YouTube or whatever, but I haven't seen what Simon Jordan says. I know obviously who he is and all that. I think I'm guessing it's Simon Jordan. I wouldn't say villainizing. I guess it is. I don't know about like not just troops, but like fan media, that sort of thing. I don't really know much about the. What he calls the Goldbridge is right, but troops is wrong type of thing. That one I don't really know. So just based on what I saw or what I seen, I mean, I guess on YouTube, I mean, for me, like YouTube for me is like, it's that sort of broadcast yourself, that sort of thing, which basically means, you know, you get to show off whatever thing you want to show off, obviously. So when YouTube had that broadcast yourself sort of slogan, that means like you can also say your opinion, that sort of thing. So I think I would say mostly it's probably Simon Jordan's in the wrong than Troops or whatever fan channels or whatever, because I think it just obviously said something like back in 2019 and all that about something with Arsenal or something like that between Simon Jordan and Troops in AFTV or whatever. I don't know exactly when that happened or what it was about, but I think I remember at that time was, you know, Arsenal weren't as good, and probably there was a little bit more criticism with not just the manager and the players, but also with the ownership and everything like that. And then obviously now Arsenal have won the Prem and whatever. So it's kind of like, why are you celebrating when you have been, what do you call this? Calling out the wrong like 7 or so years ago. But like, I feel like if you're a fan of the club, you want what's best for your club. Like for me, obviously not related to Arsenal, but Newcastle, when we got our takeover, you know, for me, what I cared about was making sure Newcastle was successful, not with Mike Ashley. So, of course, for me, I would celebrate the new ownership regardless of where they're from or whatever. And I'm guessing it might be similar to Arsenal fans, I don't know, with like, you know, criticizing the ownership 7 or so years ago compared to today, that sort of thing. And whereby, oh, you cannot celebrate today's success because you criticize what you said or whatever 7 or so years ago or whatever. But I think obviously time progresses on, that sort of thing, and that sort of stuff. So I think just from my understanding of the video, I think it's more like, why are you, I'm guessing, why are people like Troops and AFTV and whoever else that criticized the ownership 7 or so years ago, or may have not, I don't know, why are they celebrating now when they criticize the ownership, the manager back 7 or so years ago, and that sort of thing. And I'm guessing Simon Jordan doesn't like the opinion of the, not just the Arsenal fans, but any sort of fan media or whatever that does have a voice or whatever. Obviously, I know AFTV is probably it seems like the biggest among the Arsenal fan base, and obviously you have like, let's say, Goldbridge, the United stand with Man United fans, and there's probably other channels like, I don't know, any other like big channels that I guess claim to be the biggest amongst each fan or each club or whatever. But I think, I guess over a period of time, you know, fan media has gotten a lot more mainstream, I would say. So I think obviously, like if you were to say 10 years ago, you wouldn't really think people like a Mark Goldbridge or Don Robbie or those sort of big names would be a lot more mainstream. Like, oh, you would see them on Sky Sports or Talk Sport or whatever, or any of those other big corporations, that sort of thing. So I think fan media, like going from, let's say, YouTube or a small following to, let's say, for example, what Troops has, like, I don't know, I forgot, I think he has like 203, maybe a lot more subscribers on YouTube or something like that. So I think overall, I think every fan has the right to criticize what they want to say about their club and celebrate what their clubs are, successful. Because I remember, at least for me, I don't know if it would be the same. I was criticizing Newcastle. I was criticizing us before we won the Carabao Cup, that sort of thing. And then obviously, when we won the Carabao Cup, I was like, I want to celebrate, that sort of thing. I'm guessing that's for every other fan base that celebrate, like, that wanted success. So there will always be highs and lows of football, and I'm guessing Simon Jordan's more on, you can't celebrate the highs if you've been criticizing the lows. Whether that was 5 months ago or 5 years ago, that sort of thing. That's what I'm getting. So I would say fan media has gotten, a little bit more mainstream over the past during this whole decade or whatever. And so I think, now it's like, if you, or let's say if you don't have the opinion that's the same as, like, let's say one of the bigger influencers or the people that are like presenters, like, let's say, I don't know, maybe not Simon Jordan, but maybe like, people that usually go on Talk Sport, like, let's say, a Rory Jennings or whatever, talks more about Chelsea, and his opinion that's on national radio is, you would say, the opinion of all Chelsea fans. But then there are maybe other Chelsea fan channels that think differently from Rory Jennings and whatever fan bases and that sort of stuff. So I think everyone has the right of an opinion, because I think fan media mainly has come from YouTube, and YouTube started out with the slogan "Broadcast yourself." So obviously in safe and that sort of way, but more or less, like, but with, if you have an opinion or whatever, and you can back it up or whatever, then you can criticize the lows and celebrate the highs or whatever. So I think for, let's say, Simon Jordan, I think to kind of criticize, I guess, fans for celebrating what they've been criticizing maybe 7 or so years ago, I don't think really matters, because, 7 years ago, Troops and maybe other Arsenal fans weren't celebrating, but obviously now, things have changed, and now Arsenal fans are celebrating that sort of thing. And, 10 years ago, Newcastle were relegated, we weren't celebrating, and then 10 years later, we finished 12th, but, we won a trophy or whatever, and we celebrate. So I think you can always, I would say, you can celebrate the highs and criticize the lows or whatever. Because I saw, I know, like, let's say, Lee Gunner and that sort of thing, like, people criticizing, oh, he's celebrating Arsenal's victory and all that sort of stuff. But then, throughout the season, he's been talking shit about the Arsenal team and players, whatever, and that sort of thing. So why is he celebrating now, when he's been criticizing the past 9 months or so before winning the Premier and all that? But, like, I feel like you have to live in the moment as well. You can always criticize the lows and celebrate the highs. So basically, if you're a fan of, if you're, let's say, me, Newcastle fan, am I celebrating now? I mean, kinda, because we got a new goalkeeper. But but if we're not in a good spot or whatever, then I wouldn't be celebrating. And I'll criticize whatever is to criticize or whatever. So I think everyone has the right of an opinion, and I think if Simon Jordan is the celebration police, then everyone should not be celebrating no matter what. Basically, that's I guess what I'm getting mostly from the troops video.
Oh man, I hear you. First and foremost, big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. Yeah, first and foremost. And if you're sharing, big up you. This is what I'm saying. Yes, my man. Yo, Alexander, big up, bro. Big up, big up. Josh, thank you for raiding me. This is what I'm saying. So big up Nightmare, yeah. Yes. Nighttime kid, sorry, nighttime kid, Tottenham supporter, but he's a good brother. This is what I'm saying. But okay, I agree with everything that you said, yeah. Before I even start, yeah. Thank you. You know, it's we'll come back to this, yeah. We'll talk about the Prem just after this, right? You see, for me, I think Simon Jordan done a good thing because controversy is always good. You know what I'm saying? And it's showing the power that us YouTubers have. You know what I'm saying? Especially the bigger names, yeah. Because Troops has been doing this for over 10 years. He said it, right?
Mm.
And in my opinion, Troops' criticism for Arsenal was always justified, yeah. Because Lewis Hare says nobody has the right to tell you how to celebrate, yeah. And people don't actually understand how big that statement right is. And you said it yourself, and I'm glad you said it because you see someone like me, right? I've been very vocal. I've been very vocal on how Arsenal has been, yeah, just like the league honors, just like the let's say the what's his name, the light skinned brother. I forgot his name, friggin' I forgot his Troops and whoever else. It will come to me. It will come to me, right? And someone telling you that you cannot celebrate a title after you have put your blood, sweat, and tears in this club. Because when you see a few weeks ago, do you remember there was this dude called Moss something that came in there and said, Don C, I know what you've been saying about Arsenal. You're not allowed to come to the parade. If you come to the parade, mean you're gonna have words. This is what I'm saying. Do you remember that? Yeah, it was in the chat. Yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago or something like that. And then I said to him, uh, come and talk to me. This is what I'm saying. Let's have a conversation. Yeah, I will tell you why live. And I even said I'll put the link in I'll put the link in the chat, and then you can come on stage and tell me why. Yeah, and then I'll explain to you. I'll break it down to you. But something like this from Troops, yeah, his response for me is what was needed right now. Because for me, what I heard was, how dare you tell me how to celebrate my club, yeah, when he's a person who went to America talking about his club, yeah. By him actually talking negative about the club is because he's emotionally invested. Sorry, people, just got a little cold. He's emotionally invested, just like the rest of us are. And when he's talking negative about the club, it's just because he wants the club to do better. If like it's like this, yeah. If we always talk nothing but positive about a club, our club that we want to do better, right? And as fans, we're not vocal, things won't change. Because just staying in the Premier League, the owners will get their bonuses. Getting in the top four, they'll get different kind of bonuses. Getting in the top 10, they'll get a different kind of bonus. This is what I'm saying. It's only when people like us, yeah, call it out. Because people listen to us more than listen to talk sport and all of that shit. Even though they've got the numbers because they are worldwide and like they're a commercial brand and all of this and all of that, yeah, they still don't get the same numbers as certain YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The reason why it's like there's things that I didn't like to hear that I didn't want to hear is like, no, okay, I'll get to that part in a second. When talk sport, I'm not saying I dislike any of them because they got certain people like and Flawless said they've got people like Lex, like Abby, yeah, which are and started as YouTubers. This is what I'm saying. One's a Tottenham fan, one's a Man United fan. They got Goldbridge, and I'll get onto him in a bit. You know what I'm saying? And Rory Jenkins and Deluded Gunner, yeah, they got those kind of people, right? So I'm not going to disrespect them because they do give people the opportunity, but those kind of people are on AFTV, the same people that he called out. Yeah. And Whether I agree with a lot of what ATV's done or not, yeah, that's not avoiding this. Because when someone that's mainstream that gets paid handsomely, like monthly, weekly, I don't know where it is, paycheck to talk about football, but yet you're calling out YouTubers, yeah. That's that's disgraceful. It shows how pitiful and how low a person is. Yeah. Your thing is to talk about sport. YouTubers shouldn't even be in your realm because he gets paid handsomely to talk shit about other people. Yeah. You can see why a lot of people do not like him in the industry already. Yeah. Because he thinks he's trying to be controversial. He's just showing himself as a small, petty, little man. Yeah. Troops has done enough hard work, right? Yourself and myself and any other you, any single one of you fucking fans out there, yeah, are allowed to criticize your club because you all have standards. You see, Nighttime Kid, yeah, Nighttime Kid is a Tottenham fan. He was pissed that his club finished where they did last season, yeah, especially after winning the European trophy last year. I don't hate that, yeah, but he was pissed because he knows that his club should be trying to kick on, not falling below what they did last season and finishing with nothing. You know what I'm saying? After finishing in with their first trophy in like 20 years or something like that. Yeah. Or what was it, 18 years? Yeah. You see, troops, yeah. Troops Troops is one of the reasons, yeah, why someone like me is accepted. You know what I'm saying on this thing, because I go in and out of slang, yeah, because I live in a corporate, I live in a corporate world, meaning I'm a white collar person when I'm working, yeah, meaning that I work in an office, yeah. If people don't actually understand that, but then I grew up on the same council estates as so many others, in the same kind of shithole as so many others, doing the same thing in my past as so many others. Yeah. If you actually want to know my backstory, just go onto the stream and look at Izzy Talks. This is what I'm saying. It shows you where I came from. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people like me can be accepted because people accept Troops the way he talks. If you come to London, especially in the heart of London, yeah, council estates, yeah, even in certain corporate worlds, culturally, we talk all the same. You get me? We use blood, we use bruv, we use pussy, or we use you get me. Yeah, we use in it. You know what I'm saying? And like that, right? So by him doing that, it's like he's trying to look down on people like us, yeah, where we didn't grow up with a fucking silver spoon. We didn't grow up going fucking prep nursery, prep fucking primary school and prep secondary school and fucking and a college and a university, yeah, where jobs were already given to us because the links that we had, everything that we've done, we've earned ourselves, yeah, and we got a pussy like that saying they can't understand nor relate to us. How fucking dare he? You see, when you grow up with a silver spoon, keep your silver spoon. You know what I'm saying? We're the true hard workers out here. We're the ones that love our fucking club. You know what I'm saying? This is why our opinion is more valid than someone like that. Because we're the ones that will go to Arsenal matches, yeah, and yourself and Newcastle match. We're the ones that will buy the merchandise. We're the ones that will bring our family into that. Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit for even mentioning that. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on and says about Mark Goldbridge, like Mark Goldbridge is doing it for his family. Like to say Troops hasn't got a family. He's got 2 kids and a wife. Always going to Jamaica every single year. You get what I'm saying? Every single year, he's representing half of where he came from. If you don't know, he's half Jamaican, half Pakistani. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? He's representing where he came from and bringing up his kids as he chooses. Yeah. One plays football. I think they're both in football, but the older one is a lot more further. He brings his kids to Jamaica every single year with his wife. How dare he even mentions that? The only thing I can actually see why he mentioned that is because one's a certain color and the other one's another color. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not trying to pull it about race, but for me, yeah, I've heard this kind of shit from someone in that like that high in let's say his job role. Yeah, say something so small-minded as that. And I think it's I never want to pull it to color. I never want, like, that's the last thing I even think of doing. But then why would you say a Mark Goldbridge with him? There's deluded gunner on there. And then you're saying, well, Mark Goldbridge is fucking doing this shit for his family. How fucking dare he? How dare he? Yeah. Like to say, Troops is going out there fucking, and he says it. It's like, what is he doing? He's big up King, yeah. Big up King, yeah. He like he's going on saying like he's fucking doing it for I'm quoting now, yeah, paraphrasing, like he's doing it for drugs or this or this or this. You know what I'm saying? My man's trying to look after his family. How dare he even open his mouth about that? Yeah, I think Simon Jordan, yeah, is a prick for that. I don't like him. I don't like his takes. I don't listen to him for a certain reason because I do not respect him. You get me? But then yeah, that's why I said Troops made a perfect response to someone like him. Yeah? Bless you. So someone like him calling out a YouTuber because that's what Troops is. Troops is a YouTuber, yeah, that made it in the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? But yet, yeah, he gives props to everybody. He built his platform, yeah. Okay, he came with ATV, but he built his platform and he's still growing it. And also he's helping the newer ones come through as well as the more established ones to be on their thing and shouting every single person out. You know what I'm saying? People have to understand Troops is such a blessed brother. You get me? Yeah, a happy and a blessed brother. Yeah, and then and then Simon Jordan wants to play down him like he's some invalid. You know what I'm saying? Like he's some special needs dude. And I'm not taking shots at anyone. Yeah, but then that's the reality of it. Simon Jordan is a pussy old blood. Yeah, is a pussy old for that. Yeah, and I'm like I say again, I'm glad Troops, yeah, responded to him in that way. Yeah, because Troops hit the nail on the head on every single point. What Simon Jordan was saying, okay, did Troops get a little bit disrespectful by saying he's a an orange, what is one of them string things, whatever you want to call it, yeah? Cool. That's the way Troops is, because if you go for man personally, you're gonna get shots personally back. That's the way it goes. You get me? If you shoot me once, I'm gonna fucking grenade your ass. You get me? Lyrically, people. Yeah. But that's me. You get me? If you call me a bastard, I'm gonna call you a pussy. If you call me a prick, I'm gonna call you a wanker. You get me? That's the way it goes. Insult for insult, we can do it all day long. Right? Simon Jordan opened up this kind of worms for no reason. Yeah. And like I said, people, I do not know Troops on a personal level, but I respect him even more for responding to him and how he did it. He went in and out of the white collar and the blue collar and the hood world. This is what I'm saying. In how he articulated his point, and he stuck to the points. Yeah, stuck to the points. Like someone like me. Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan. We all know I'm an Arsenal diehard. Yeah, I showed you memberships. I've like if you follow my journey or follow me on other streams, you've seen hats. I've got hats everywhere from Arsenal. This is what I'm saying. I've got scarves. I showed you a scarf the other day for the fucking 2017 FA Cup when we played Chelsea at Wembley, the game that I was at. Yeah. And I've got many more. I've got tops upon tops upon tops. But the reason why I criticize Arsenal is because I want Arsenal to do better. Yeah, the reason why we what they done the banner when Arsene Wenger was there, because he should have left, because he wasn't winning us anything. Because all of our clubs, right, and especially the bigger ones out here, the reason why we start off the season with high hopes because we should be winning stuff, and if we're not winning stuff, it's fucking failure. Yeah, and having this long under Arteta has been failure. So Troops is right to actually call it out. Yeah, and the moment that we start winning, we all will celebrate, because in the end, this is what we all wanted. We all wanted. When my kids are naughty, I told them off. When they come back with good grades or done something extra out of the ordinary, I praise them. And I explain to them why. Yeah. People need to get off their fucking high horse here and have a, like Troop said, have a conversation. You want to come on my show, have a conversation. Yeah. We'll talk about it. I'll show you my side. You show me your side. You get me? But people shouldn't just go after someone because what? Because they feel hurt. They think that we shouldn't celebrate our club. What we're supposed to be happy We're supposed to be happy that our club had 22 years of failure. 22 years of failure. That's like me saying, do you know what? Yeah, I man them. Yeah, come, you don't take turns on my missus, is what I'm saying for 22 years. After that, you know what? Yeah, but she loves you though. You get me? I'm supposed to be like, okay, what kind of bullshit is that? What kind of like this, like this? Yeah, Troops and so many other people. It's just so happy they called Troops his name, and Troops done a perfect response, in my opinion. So many of us, yeah, have criticized our clubs. So when you're taking a shot at one, you're taking a shot at all, in my opinion. You get me? Yeah. And no matter how people, what people think about anyone, one day any of us can get those kind of numbers, yeah. And when you get those kind of numbers, yeah, you're a target. You're a fucking target. Do you know what I'm saying? And that shit right there made me fucking sick to my fucking stomach. You know what I'm saying? You know me, normally, if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna do it on a one away. But I had to just bring it out today because you know what, right? It pissed me off, blood. It fucking pissed me off. People telling people how they should celebrate. And a mainstream person like Simon Jordan. Oh, we better go suck out your mama's blood clot. You know what I'm saying? Concentrate on what you're doing. Yeah?
Mental.
Concentrate on your fucking doing. And anyway, man, big up the chat each and every fucking time. Yo, people, make sure you hit them likes, make sure you subscribe. This is what I'm saying. Like I said, no matter what happens in life, yeah, when bullshit fucking people, yeah, want to come out and open up their mouth to you and tell you how you're supposed to be celebrating your club, yeah, you ask them and you go to them why, yeah. If you want your club to be shit, yeah, stay silent when they're fucking doing shit. You get me? Yeah. You want change, you demand change. Because the only reason why the what is it? Them man there, right? Started spending money is because people like us demanded that shit. Because they weren't doing that before. They was always making excuses. Always. First, it was a fucking stadium. Yeah. You're telling me they can't take out loans? We got fucking tycoons. We had a day on our fucking board at one stage. Yeah. And you're telling me they haven't got money to fucking get players. We know that you can get players on a layaway on HP, meaning that you pay down the fucking line. You get me? We're one of the richest clubs in the fucking world. Yeah. And they gaslit us. And then because us fans, we stood up and we said, you know, yeah, we're not having it no more. Boycotting games, walking out, yeah, all of that bullshit, banners, everything, showing the dislike. That's when they started spending money. If we didn't do that shit, players like Aubameyang, Ozil, Sanchez, fucking Lacazette wouldn't have come to our club. These were fucking expensive ballers at that time. It's because of us. You get me? And you're telling us we should have lower standards. Hey, Simon George, shut the fuck up, you dirty piece of shit. You get me? Yeah? Leave people like us alone. Yeah? Concentrate on you. Yeah? And like I said, last thing, Troops, perfect response, yeah? Blessings, people, yeah? Make sure you like and subscribe. And Blacker, King, we man say, you man good. We're just talking about the whole Troops thing. I know you man have probably heard about it. You know what I'm saying? I just played a little quick snippet on screen. Like, you man want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Bro, you see, my man always thinks he's right, you know. He always wants to be right. He always wants to be controversial.
Yeah.
But he's got some sort of agenda with. He got an agenda with AFTV. I don't know what his agenda is. I don't know why they hate AFTV so much. Cool.
1 second. 1 second. You raided me. Big up for the raid, yeah? I just clocked. Donchenko raid. I need man are taking the pitch, you know.
Hey, we knew we'd make you laugh, man. But bro, like, if we're being honest, I don't know what the agenda is, but I can tell the agenda is it's got something to do with, you know what I'm saying? Because when they mentioned Mark Goldbridge, there was no problem. It was fine. He said, "Oh, that's fine. Mark Goldbridge does it the right way." What? Because Troops just screaming and shouting. What? Because he talks a bit like he's from the hood. It's a problem. Come on. You know what that's about. We know what it's about. These are the issues that we've been dealing with for a long time. Like I said on the Izzy Talks, I've experienced it in the darkest ways. My teacher rugby tackled me and I got excluded. I was the one assaulted and they excluded me. They said, "Why did you run? Why didn't you take off your hat when you was told to?" They made all the excuses, not the fact I was 13 years old and a big 30-year-old man has rugby tackled me. So there's always these excuses. They always look for the little things, and it's, I don't know what's the word. It's it undertones. The undertone, they're always there, and they won't say it, so they'll make you look like the bad guy when you call it out. Oh, you're playing the race card. Oh, you're a victim. Oh, you're this. But come on, mate. Every single fan channel has maniacs that's rant and rave. Even these pussies that talk sport, they're the biggest culprits. They've got the most. They love it. They invite fans that just rant and rave. What? Just because they don't swear, but they're ranting and raving. What? So you're allowed to rant and rave. You're just not allowed to say effing and jeffing. Why? If they weren't a radio station, I'm telling you, they'll allow swearing. How many times do people get cut off? Do people complain? Do we say Talk Sport is a scumbag channel? No. But like I said, it's always because that's all it is, and we know it. And I'm glad that people are calling it out and seeing it for where it is, because that's the only way that it'll stop in this world.
Bro, I'm so with you on that. Like, I'm so with
Cool, bro.
certain people just sending a message. I'm like that's 100% true, bro. Like because, like I said, like you said, like Ten said, right? It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and I'm glad you said this, bro. Because the first thing I said, right, because he said a bit more about Mark Goldberg does it the right way. He said Mark Goldberg makes money for his family. Yeah, when I heard that, right, I was like, and let's say it again. There's flex, and then there's the looted gunner on there as well.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to choose your battles and choose the people who you want to make references to when you're having certain things. Yeah. Especially when you're comparing, because if you're saying, okay, we all know Mark Goldberg used to be an X-Fed. Yeah. Right.
Mm.
So we got an X-Fed against a man that grew up in the hood. Put two and two together. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. Not
The X
realizing
Fed's
Troops.
more of a scumbag.
Yeah. Not realizing that Troops was a working man before. You get me? Why? Because we grew up in the hood. Because we talk a certain way at times. Because that's who we are culturally. Culturally, that's who we are. You get me? Culturally, we're gonna say certain words. Culturally. And when I say culturally, yeah, I don't mean like that black, white, Asian, blah, blah, blah. When I say culture, on my estate where I grew up, yeah, there was blacks, there was whites, there was Albanians, there was Colombians, there were Mexicans, there were Indians, there were Irish, there were
Turkish.
English, there was Turkish, there was Polish, Portuguese. Do you know what? Yeah, we all played football. We all spoke the same language. Yeah, the same way. Yeah, we went the school that we went to. We all spoke the same way because that's something that we understood. It's like that's something that we was grown into. We weren't grown up with a silver spoon. Everything was wooden spoon out here. The same wooden spoon that we ate from was the same wooden spoon that we got beats from. You get me? Yeah, and then we got someone that's not from our demographic trying to criticize a person within our demographic because of the way he talks. He said no one will understand him because the way he talks, mate. You see that thing there. If I if because I know I'll get copywritten if I would have played the whole if I would have played his thing and the whole thing or even certain points. This is why I'm not playing. You get me? But I will reference it. I always say, people, if you haven't listened to it, please go and listen to it. Then listen to the Troops response afterwards. You get me? And then write what you think in the comment. Yeah, King, what's your take on this?
For me, I think when it comes to like Talk Sports, Sky Sports, all those type of companies and the the kind of people they are. I think they've always had a resentment to AFTV and YouTube in the sense of it's taken a lot of viewership from them.
Mm.
So literally, that's why they've kind of copied the YouTube formula. So there's always been a resentment because AFTV was one of the first, one of the forefathers of this YouTube space. So anyone a part of that would have been looked down upon compared to traditional media. And
Yeah,
as people have gone on, traditional media is less watched to the point where if you look at their modern shows on Sky Sports and on Talksport, they're using the same formulas that YouTube use. So on one step, they're talking down to someone like a Troops or people of that nature, and on the other step, they're copying them, and it's like being on a high horse basically. It's like because you're on a traditional media platform like radio or TV that you're somehow better than the person talking on a YouTube screen, which is not the case. Because in the end of the day, for example, for Troops, he's a fan that's followed Arsenal through thick and thin. You've seen him in the images in Baku and stuff like that. So in the worst losses, the best wins, he's been there. So reality is, I think they just don't understand it, and they don't understand the culture of why people prefer to listen to someone like a Troops compared to a Simon Jordan. It's because people want to listen to people that they can relate to, and as that has grown on the YouTube space, YouTube has become even bigger. There's multiple channels you can watch now that with different personalities, and yeah, I think a lot of the time that's what it comes from. It comes from resentment, jealousy, and this negative nature that YouTube is still looked at as a platform. It's changed over time, it's gotten better, but there's still a couple people like a Simon Jordan that still have that old school mindset, and I think a lot of the time they talk out their arse when they're saying things rather than actually doing the research and actually looking into it properly before they talk. And yeah, man, it was a great response from Troops. He needed to do that because in the end of the day he's got a platform of his own, and the good thing about his platform of his own is he's not been bought out by any corporations. He's not under any kind of obligation to anyone, so he can respond. And the thing is, it puts him in a good light as well because it was a well thought out response, and it just shows the hypocrisy of how people in traditional media look at YouTube. And yeah, man, for me, I think this kind of mindset needs to change because in the end of the day, everybody can be on this space and talk about football because in the end of the day, we're all fans. There's no one specific expert. We've seen enough people that have done training in football, done management, done coaching badges, done all the sorts. Studied the game from A to Z and still failed in this sport. So there's not one way to skin a cat or skin a dog, as the saying says. So for me, I think every voice should be heard, and everybody has an opinion, and the only facts are the statistics really. But I'm not a stats man, so I'd rather hear an opinion of someone that I can relate to and trust,
yeah,
rather than a spokesperson for a Talksport or Sky Sports when I know they're bought and paid for and they have certain agendas to run, rather than
yeah,
the Troops is just authentically him. And that's what's the best thing about YouTube is that the people on there are, for the most part, are being themselves, and you can tell the fake from the real. And for me, Troops is one of the real ones because he left AFTV because he knew what it was gonna become, and
yeah,
you can see he's kept to himself, and he's grown his platform. He's bringing other people on, as you've said. He started podcasts. He's doing shows with other people, and he's not only helped himself, but he's helped others around him. So yeah, man. If anything, you just gotta respect what he's doing. And yeah, man, Simon Jordan's always been a prick anyway, so it is what it is.
facts, facts, bro. I totally agree with you, man. It's and he hit the nail on the head where he said like people like us in this game have taken a lot of viewers away from those mainstream, and they hate it because that's how they get paid, their numbers. And also when it's crazy. Before there was us. When I say us, I mean this whole space. you see the mainstream media, they can push whatever narrative that they want on footballers. Yeah, they could say if a coloured footballer is gets thrown out of a team or gets sold, it's because he stole or he's a bad influence. Not that the manager just didn't fancy him. They could push that kind of narrative, but because people like us are here, people like us actually know a lot of people within that game. They can't push that no more. They can't do that mass control as they used to. Yeah, where it's like you're supposed to support your club, you're supposed to do this, don't be negative or whatever. It's like this, yeah. How many times, let's say a Gary Neville or a Jamie Carragher, watch their respective team play a rival, and you can hear the biasness when they do commentating. How many times? And the thing is, that's kind of right through the years now. Before this space was even a thought. Yeah. And people will sit down and listen to them. There'll be a small, minute. Yeah. When I say out of 10,000, there'll probably be about 7, 8 talking in a pub about this. The rest of them are just sheep. Yeah. Nowadays, yeah, people are actually opening their eyes because let's say, for example, I said at the beginning of last season and the first quarter of the season, no one is actually talking about the fact that Arteta is doing a sub between 70 and 72 minutes. I say, but they will once we start losing. What happens a month later at Sunderland?
That's crazy. Yeah. You kept saying that when you guys were winning. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, no one's talking about this. I said, it's too late in some games and we've been scraping through. But then guess what happens? When we lose, yeah, people want to talk about, oh, he's doing the subs too late, blah, blah, blah. He start doing early. And then he starts doing that at 60 minutes. This is small Don C's channel.
Hey, Don C, you know what's crazy?
Oh, okay.
I heard a few people say about the Champions League final that I made the subs too late. It's mad. Yeah, crazy.
Okay, before we even talk about that, Prime, get your thoughts on what Troop said, please.
I don't really know what was. I didn't watch the Simon Jordan thing, and I didn't watch Troop's response. I don't really know what was said in terms of that. But the talks, well, not even talk sport, because before it was Gary Neville and like Sky and stuff. The English media have like always not liked, not even necessarily just like AFTV specifically, but like Robbie, Troops, the other guy who I'm not going to mention because of the stuff that he did, because they've not liked them because of the what they've like done to create like a path in this space, which is weird. Troops is one of he's one of the best content creators out there. He's one of the, and also he's like honest about his opinions and his takes. And even though I don't agree with everything that he said, but the reason why I'll respect someone like Troops, be fair, the reason why I'll even like respect someone like Igal is because at least they'll be honest about what they think about their club. Whether they're right or wrong is fine, is different, but at least they'll be like honest about their opinion. Is why I'll respect Don C, because at least they'll be black as face. Okay. The reason why I'll respect Don C is even though I may not agree with everything, but at least I'll understand what you're coming from because at least you're honest about it. And what Troops has been able to do, the fact that he was the first like content creator to break into the American space. The guy got a deal with Barstool, went to America, and he didn't have to change how he is. The guy was in America crashing out when Arsenal were 8th with Arteta. He didn't have to change. He was still crashing out. Bro, arguably, Troops was even worse than he's ever been. He was fully crashing out, angry, kicking tables. He didn't have to change. He didn't have to like sell himself. The deal with Barstool ended, came back to England. No AFTV, no nothing, and look what he's able to still do with his channel. Like that is like the reason why I guess Robbie like is more like maybe like palatable is because of the way like how Robbie speaks and how Troop speaks is like two very different things. And also people will talk about how Robbie like like supposedly selling out and stuff like that. I don't know about that stuff behind the scenes. You look at Goldbridge, people will talk about Goldbridge and how like he's like sold out or whatever. Troops is Black okay?
Yeah.
Okay. At least Troops is someone who's like always like just stayed true to who he is as a person.
Yeah.
Which I listen, that's why I mean he calls himself people's champion for a reason. Like, that's why people love and respect him. But also like with the I don't know, like him being like attacked for what did Simon Jordan specifically say that he doesn't like about like what did Troops do something?
No, he just called out AFTV and Troops and said you shouldn't really celebrate this because you spit so much hate towards the club throughout the years and so forth, and going on by saying
the way you talk.
the way you talk, no one understands the way you talk here, and also like basically you should be more like Mark Goldbridge because Mark Goldbridge is doing this for his family. I'm paraphrasing our people, but that's the basis of what he said.
Goldbridge is doing it for his
family.
So you should do this for the money as opposed to like being okay. That's fine. Saying that like Arsenal fan, if you've been against your club for however many years, you can't celebrate. You know what's funny? That's something a rival would say as banter. So that's not the English media. You're supposed to be better than all these lowly content creators, man. Come on, let's come up with a better narrative than Troops can't celebrate because he's Arteta out or whatever. Come on, bro. That's something I say to Don C. Let's not do this.
Yeah, you do as well. No, but like I said, man, Simon George, for all of that, and everyone in the chat, you're right. Like he says, authenticity is the key. Also, I personally don't listen to majority of United legends. They're always chatting rubbish apart from a few. Yeah, because they get paid. They get paid by the club. Yeah, let's put it this way: from the time they get paid, it is what it is. You see, with the whole AFT infrastructure and everything, like what they did and how they broke into the game, a lot of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Yeah, so I'll always give them that kind of respect. You get me? The way they took it by storm and like they destroyed it. And the thing is, yeah, a lot of people would have said, yeah, or some would say that it's only because of what Arsenal was going through. No, they brought it to the people, the blind, yeah, what Arsenal was going through, and they broke it down. And because anyone and everyone at that point could get on it, could say their piece, right? Some people were negative, some people were positive, but then a lot of people that literally, I wouldn't say they were sheep. A lot of people that were putting their love emotion in it, they're the ones who actually realize that this club is taking them for a fucking idiot. Right? So
also, like AFTV has I don't know how many subs it has, maybe like 3 or 4 million or whatever. Especially during like I remember like a decade ago, during like 15, 16, 17, 18, during the whole like decline of Wenger and like 10-2 and all that type of stuff. People like you had Arsenal fans like yourself and Blacko watching. You had rivals like me and African King, and you had Sunderland fans like Tenzin watching. Bro, like
you're bastard.
The fact that everyone was like, yes, I was there for the crash outs. I was there for my mom's Wenger in. Is she mad? But I stayed for the personalities. I stayed to watch Troops do his biased Premier League show. I stayed for the personalities. Like, listen, if these channels were smart and stuff, they would actually want to work with content creators, which is funny because that's what they've been doing the last couple of years. You have the overlap, how they get content creators on there. But what's annoying is
they pick and choose
certain content creators that they get. At least I'll speak from my Chelsea perspective anyway. I don't want Rory representing my club. Why can't you get Lewis or Matisse to represent Chelsea? Why does Rory have to be on there and embarrass us? You know, on for the overlap. You look at TalkSport. At least Matisse is on there. They've got like a Chelsea show or whatever they do. I think Matisse is on there, so I respect that and I tune into that. But like even in these spaces in the mainstream where they're using content creators. All right, man. Even in the mainstream where they're using content creators, they're still not using the actual good ones. They're using the ones that will just say Rory saying that Haaland won't even break 20 goals in his first season and stuff like that. You're getting people that are just going to get you clicks.
Clickbait.
Like you're not getting actual insight, which is annoying. But yeah.
And that's the whole point of it, because it's like this year. Let's say someone like, if anything here, the people that they would choose, or the people that they wouldn't choose, for example, is someone like me and Blacker. Simply because it's like, no. Let's keep it 100.
I need Dante and I need Dante to call false goals a football. I need that.
Let's keep it 100, yeah. Because when we hear something that we don't like, me personally, like you said, I'm calling man a pussy. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is that? Yeah, they don't want that on mainstream. Yeah, they want people to be politely objective. Yeah, and then the host of the shows, will talk over you, belittle you, try to use big words, and then try to make you look small, and then constantly talk about nothing and go around in a circle and then keep you quiet, Don't like me, I'm gonna have that. Black isn't gonna have that. I'm like, what kind of bullshit you're talking about? If I ask you a question, I have the same respect of me answering your question. You get me? Someone like me, they won't have, because it's like when it comes to my club, fucking it's easy for me. You know what I'm saying? I've been an Arsenal supporter from fucking way back. You get me? Yeah. But I'm too controversial for them. You get me? I'm too, let's just say, nicely hood for them. You get me? This is why there's certain people, like you said, if you're gonna look at the people that they have, like Matisse, I like his stuff, but how he is, that kind of fits their mode. Someone like Deluded Guna, even though his name is Deluded Guna, he fits their mode of what they want, as a brother to be on their show, Someone like even Prime, even you they wouldn't want, because you're a person like what you don't from doing a lot of streams of you, you ask certain questions that people hate answering. You just do it in a nicer way, but because you kind of belittle people in what you say and how you say it now, that a lot of people don't like. And I've heard it on stream. You get me? So even that they like the nice guys that's just, we're gonna run back now, but they run it in a nice way. It's like, oh no, it's raining today. I would say it's fucking pissing cats and dogs out there. Oh yeah, it's raining and it's got big raindrops. That's the kind of fucking bullshit that they want.
And the thing is, I understand obviously like being like media trained and stuff. Like obviously that's fine. Like that makes sense, right? But how is it? Even though like how is it like expressions? And maybe that's also because Spurs fans don't have as many like content creators. But how is it like expressions can consistently be on Sky Sport, but Troops can't? Like, I'm pretty sure if they offer Troops, they go on there. I doubt Troops would say no. So facts. Like, well, what would be? Yeah, I don't know. It's
like when they don't like you for a certain reason, when they think you're like let's say you're toxic and negative, because it's like a league gunner. I don't agree with everything that he says. Most things I don't agree with what he says, to be honest. Like I think he goes off one and a lot. But then I still respect him as a person, and I respect his opinion, because you know what? When you supported this club, and when you know the history of a club, and when you actually go out and buy merchandise and put your all in within this club, you're allowed to have your opinion. That's what it's about. It's having an opinion. It's like they're trying to gatekeep YouTubers. You're not even fucking one of us. You're not even one of us. You get me?
And especially when it's like when you're someone like Troops, he's probably I would say probably the biggest Arsenal content creator, arguably.
Yeah,
like
massive. Yeah,
you can't you like
the biggest.
I don't know how you can. It's not. Yes, fine. There's a lot of Arsenal content creators, but none of them is like Troops. So I don't know how you can like hide away with like not getting Troops on these like Gooner on how he's on Talksport. That's brilliant for him. It's also like this guy's been in the content creator space for years. Like I was watching him like back when he had like less than 1,000 subs on the channel, bro. He's amazing at what he does. But do you know the numbers you do if you had Troops on there? If you had Troops and Simon Jordan, like do like what just one show, talk it out. You know how the numbers that would do. Because do you not remember the beef Gary Neville had with AFTV, and they did an episode together, and that like broke the football stick.
Yeah, but you got to remember Gary Neville doing it. Gary Neville can actually have a conversation with someone and not talk down to them because he wants to get in the insight of why they do that. Yeah, and Gary Neville come from a standpoint, regardless if he's a prick at times, right? He would always come from a standpoint. I understand. I might not agree, but I understand it. Simon Jordan is a that wants to belittle a person because he thinks he can, because he grew up with that fucking bullshit spoon in his mouth. You get me? Yeah. Jack, I think he's talking about a singular YouTuber instead of a whole infrastructure like AFTV. Yes, AFTV is the biggest, but AFTV is more a company infrastructure. Troops is a singular person doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? But
Troops is not even part of AFTV anymore. So
no.
You can mention AFTV, but talk about like Don Robbie and Wat Yardy and
Lee Judges, man.
Talk about them. Like Troops is not even on there anymore. Talk about Cecil and how he was like talk about those guys. Talk about Ty, bro. Talk about Ty and how deluded Ty is. Talk about him.
But it's easy to tell you why, because singly as an Arsenal fan, just a single Arsenal fan. Troops, it's like this, If you want numbers, all right, talk about one of the man them that's doing numbers, and you see your numbers jump up. Because if you probably look at his average numbers, let's say, I'm paraphrasing now, let's say they average around 20 to 40,000, after every show, or let's just say that for a mainstream person like that, If you saw that show, that probably went up to the 100,000s. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, he called my man out. People sending it to each other. I can't believe he did that. So it's doing for traction. It's like they're becoming, like you said, they're trying to become the YouTubers. You're not one of us. They're not one of us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to gatekeeper or anything or nothing like that because my channel's small, whatever. I get it, whatever, blah, 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 dory. But the reality is, if I was hooking up any of the mandem here, we could hook up here, probably never seen each other in our lives, and then talk, and then have fun and do this and do that. We can't do that with him. Did you say why? Because we don't know you like that. You get me? That's a saying. When me and Blackers hooked up here, it was like we fucking seen each other for fucking 20 years. You hear what I'm saying? We're drinking, blah, blah, blah. He's getting fucked up. You hear what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah? No. That's real talk. So tell you why? Because we recognize each other, because we come from the same place. We come, you don't actually understand. When you come from the same place, it's easy for you to relate. It's like me. I can never go into a room of silver spooners, and sit down and have a proper conversation of what they want to talk about, how they want to talk about it, because I didn't grow up that way. Whether or not I live in a white collar world, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But this shit I can, because this is like home to me. You get me?
Jack, I wasn't belittling Ty. I was just making the point of there's people on AFTV if you wanted to talk about them. Troops is not on AFTV, so like why bother mentioning them? Talk about like Simon Jordan could have made the exact same point, but not mention Troops because he's not on AFTV.
Yeah,
there's no need to mention. You just mentioned Troops because he was on there, and Troops is the biggest Arsenal content creator. You didn't have to mention it.
You could have mentioned
5-6 years. So
Lee Judges. That's the perfect fan that always going, you little scrote, you do. He goes absolutely mental. Surely that's the person you should be talking.
Bro, any Lee Judges, Ty, Cecil, talk about Robbie himself. It's he created it. You could have mentioned any of them making the exact same point. And it would have made, it still would have been wrong, but at least it would have made a lot more sense than mentioning Troops, who's not on there.
He did mention
Troops has no
Robbie as
affiliation
well.
with AFTV.
You see, the
Like-
funny thing is, he did mention Robbie. Yeah, he did mention Robbie's name, right? But he left Robbie and then he just went straight onto Troops. Yeah, when Robbie is also on Talk Sport at time, when he could have sat down and said it face to face with him instead of doing that. So, like, literally, he is trying to move like man them that want to get more views. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, yeah. If you've got no game, yeah, take all the money that's out in your bank, yeah, pay cash at a bar and see the chicks come. You hit me? That's what it is instead of having a lingo. That's what excuse me. That's what it seemed like it was. It was all for views. You get me? Because how can a person tell you how to support your club? Yeah. How dare he? It's like this, yeah. If Prime or King said to me, look, Don, my club finishes 10th. Yeah. I'm not happy with them. They make me sick. Right? And then I say to them, how dare you say that, bro? They'll say to me, and then I said, look at what we won in the past. Just be happy that you won whatever in the past. And if you said to me that that's the past, yeah, my club should be held to a higher standard because of what they've won in the past. Yeah, I would say okay, because you're right there. Yeah. Not try to belittle you or try to talk down to you, like to say you're next to nothing, like your opinion on the club that you supported for how many years, the club that you love, the club that you talk about all the time, whether it's positive or negative for whatever reason. Yeah, how dare I? Who am I to tell you how to support your club? You get me? When I'm not even in your fucking fan base for the first place.
Yeah.
But
at least we could have the discussion, like, you know, how before you guys won the league a few months ago, talking about, oh, if you guys win it, you know, should Arteta stay or not, whatever. We can have that discussion. You know, Dante's gonna call Arteta a pussy. I'll say you're being a fraud. But
yeah,
hey, at least we're keeping it. We'll keep it respectful. No one's talking down to each other, and we're not even all from like the same background or the same place. I'm not. You and Blacka grew up in, like, not just London. You guys are both from North London. I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Ireland. Tenzin's on like the other side of the world. The world. Yeah, exactly. And you're a Sunderland fan. Like, we all are from very different backgrounds, but yeah, you know, we have some sort of a like commonality that gets to at least allows us to be able to like talk and have something in common, even though we don't support the same club. We're rivals. I don't expect the mud brothers fuck up, says me.
Yeah, I just see it, man. All right, people, we're gonna get on to the PSG game right after this. I just wanted to get this out of the way because for me it was an important topic as fuck you, T Scoops, my brother. I just thought it was an important topic that just because when it's like this, when someone from that kind of demographic, meaning mainstream, for me it's never about color. It's never about race. It's never about where you're from. It's about what you say about one of us, because Troops is one of us. Yeah. And as people with an opinion, this is why this is called Donversation, because it's good to have a Donversation instead of throwing shade and bullshit at people for no reason. Yeah. Have one. Because it's good to talk, because the thing is, everyone's got an opinion. We've all got an opinion. But if you're willing to ask a person, what did they mean? And they tell you it's your choice whether you want to accept it or be like, you know what, this ain't for me, but that's your opinion, because life is about opinion. Stop trying to police shit. Yeah? Stop trying to do all of that shit. You hear me? Yeah? Do I like the beef that's in the industry? Do you know what? I love it because it's good watch. Yeah? And the thing is, we're not always going to agree. And if you disagree, the best thing to do is tell you why you disagree. If you watch the Troops thing, then do you know what, right? You'll see why he disagreed with what my man said, Simon Jordan said. And the thing is, I don't understand why Simon Jordan did that. Like, Don Robbie, he cooked him before. You know what I'm saying? He shut him down, but he wants to call his name because now we're winning. Look, right? When you win, you celebrate. But if something's not good enough, you need to be calling it out. Because how does a team get better? Yeah. How does a team get better? How does anything in life get better if you don't call it out? Yeah.
It's weird because if people like Troops and Don C who don't like Arteta and want him gone, if you guys weren't celebrating this title, then Simon Jordan would be saying that you guys aren't real fans. So, what should you not like Arteta but be thankful that you've won the league, your first one in 22 years, or should you say I don't care that you've won me a title for the first time in 22 years, I'm not celebrating it because it's you. Like, what? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Also, Troops, by the way, you guys not remember? Was it halfway through the season, or maybe it was last season? You not remember the things that was happening in Jamaica?
Yeah.
And the charity stream Troops did.
Yeah. But for like 24 hours. And
He
all the
did.
money
He
got
did a
donated to
24-hour
Jamaica.
charity stream. All this hood guy that's a thug got all this money from a charity stream, send it back home to Jamaica, and yet these big channels like AFTV and the United Stand, they saw what Troops did, and then they did their own version a few days later to make it look like they're helping Troops. But yet Troops is the one who started it.
But the thing is, a mainstream piece of shit, right? Like Talksport didn't do fuck all. And to be honest, it's not even a shot at them. It's a shot at fucking Simon Jordan. You get me? Because if you're from that background, you knew what happened. Yeah, I'm from that background. You see what people are costed. Yeah, big up Troops for that. People are costed. My mum sends barrels. Yeah, and if you know what a barrel is, yeah, people, like it's something that us Caribbean folks and African folks send to like back home to the family, to people that's needy. We put a lot of food and clothes and all of the rest of it in it, and we ship it off. It takes 3 days to get there, right? And then obviously it's theirs. We sent 4 of them. 4 of them. Check the price on one. We sent 4 of them for people who can't, who needs to get back on their feet. And when I say 4, things are packed with tin foods, with rice, with clothes, with trainers, with so many things. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, but then we don't need no thank you for that. This is our home. That's our home where we grew up from, where our family were born in. So we're always going to support where they come from. Yeah. And then people want to shoot at him for what? For having an opinion. No, man, the thing is, people, the reason why I think with so much potency is because this is something that fucking pissed me off, blood. Yeah? It pissed me off like Arteta bringing on Zinchenko. That's how much it pissed me off, blood. Yeah?
We're comparing Simon Jordan to Zinchenko is crazy.
Like the vein almost popped out, the vein almost worked out. Like come out like it's my birthday week. Yeah? I'm supposed to be celebrating still, like happy, all of that shit. When I saw this, bro, it fucking irritated me, bro, because I hate people doing undermining, low, fucking dirty bullshit. Like
also that charity stream, by the way, Troops got. You know how there's a lot of people in these big content creators in this space that they don't like each other, and Troops got all of them on the stream to coexist and be up until Lee Gunner joined and it turned into
something crash
else.
out, yeah.
But before that, everyone was on being amicable, laughing, joking, having banter for a good cause. And that's Hood Brother Troops that did that, not Mark Goldbridge and I'm not even saying necessarily Goldbridge even had to do that because, he's not Jamaican or anything, so it doesn't necessarily affect him. So he didn't necessarily have to do any of that. But I don't see any other big content creators doing something like that to help a charitable cause, really.
Mate, because more people out here.
And I'm not even saying they have to. I'm not even saying they have to do it publicly, because I'm sure Troops did stuff like what Don C just said about sending things back home. I'm sure Troops did all that stuff as well. Yeah. But because Troops has one of the biggest platforms in this space, it makes sense that he could do a 24-hour stream to raise money. He could have done the stream for 12 hours. He could have done the stream for 6 hours and still raise money. But the fact that he stayed for 24 and was able to make all this money for a great cause, bro, regardless of what you may think of Troops, you like him, you don't like him, you have to respect that. It's crazy to do. You have to respect that.
Oh, man, you got all the time, and this is why I wanted to talk about it because of what he actually does and actually done in the industry for, let's say, just for people like myself. You see what I'm saying? The way I talk. Like all the pussy hole thing, all of this and all of that. Before then, a lot of people be like, oh no, why is he swearing so much? Why is he calling a pussy hole and all of that? Yeah, fam, yeah. People are like, oh yeah, he can't understand the way we talk. He made it acceptable for a certain cultural demographic, yeah, to like people like me, to realize that when I'm saying these kind of things, it's a term of endearment. It's the way we speak to each other. You get me? If I say black of your blood clot idiot, he'd be like, fuck off, Don. You know what I'm saying, Don
Wait,
Chenko?
so are you calling is it a form of endearment to Arteta when you call him a pussy?
He want us to leave, so he's a fucking blood clot winning pussy, or yeah, me, fam. But yeah, but let's move on swiftly from this one, yeah. But big up troops each and every time. Like, if anyone missed anyone's talk about it, we all have, yeah. Just go to the beginning of the stream, rewatch it, and we've all said our little pieces on what we think. Yeah, what I'm saying, and for once, and I cannot believe it, we all actually said near enough the same things, yeah, and that's very rare, especially when we got people like African King, yeah, on and 10. You know what I'm saying? Prime, he's a half forward, but the rest of them are pussy-os. Before we get to the next topic, which is the Arsenal v PSG, and I actually want 10 to start this one, yeah, I've got something to show you, look. I got told that this person is one of the biggest Arsenal fans I've ever seen. Who do you lot think it is? Yeah? Any guesses?
You.
Huh? Me? Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that, people? Champione, ole, ole.
I've seen this before. Plus, I got a Chelsea hat on. That's fine.
Well, because you're split between two worlds. You're split between
Hey,
two worlds.
wait, African King, were you at the parade? Crazy.
No, I wasn't.
Did you put on that Arsenal? Did you put on that Arsenal top to go and drag you out? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah. I think I saw you the drone.
My mom went to the parade though. My mom did go.
Yeah.
I thought I saw you the drone, bro. We'll talk about the parade afterwards. Yeah. Let's get into the Arsenal.
I've got to go though because I'm watching the game, so I've got to go. But yeah, enjoy, guys. Like and subscribe. Also, I mean, I'm going anyway, but I don't. Don Z knows my opinion of the final. I don't necessarily have a problem with what you guys did and how you played. So yeah.
No worries, man. That's cool. That's cool.
Enjoy. Also, you'll never sing that. You'll never.
You'll never sing that. Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Yeah.
You know,
I had to finish
it. Big up King.
Prime.
No, big up Prime each and every time. Like, I just kick him out the fucking thing. Like, that pissed me off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, yeah, no. Black is gonna get onto it. Don't worry, Black is get into it. Let 10. 10. Do your thing, man. Do your thing, man.
I think when we did, obviously last Friday, last Saturday morning, previewing, giving predictions, I forgot how many people were on last week's stream. I think I was the only one that actually said PSG would win eventually. I know I said 2-1 PSG, but I think King said Arsenal win. I know both of you said Arsenal win. But I was like, I still feel like the experience and all that sort of stuff, which ultimately happened with this game between PSG and Arsenal. I think I said Arsenal in the first half. I'll probably go like per half or whatever. First half, I think Arsenal were probably 10 times better than maybe what people expected. And I said if there was an early goal from whichever team, then I think it kind of works somewhat in the favor of whichever team it was. And it ended up being Arsenal that scored early. Though it's kind of crazy that's the only shot on target by Arsenal, but you know, having the lead and all that, and I thought the first half, like Gabriel, Hincapié, and everyone else, the midfield, actually everyone at Arsenal that were playing at the scoring 11 was doing very good. I mean, the only player there were two question marks. I was like, why is Havertz starting? I thought it should have been Gyökeres, but obviously with hindsight, yeah, he scored. My other issue was Ghostegard. And to be honest, I did not see anything of him throughout that entire game. And I think that was a mistake. I think, okay, it wasn't a mistake to have, what do you call this? Havertz up front with hindsight, but having Odegaard, I think that's probably I don't know how it is with Arteta and whatever, but I think it feels like if he can't deliver in a Champions League final and all that, I think his time I feel like is done in terms of like a starting 11 type of player, and that UCL final showed. But the first half, I think Arsenal were doing very good. Obviously, PSG, I expected PSG to have more of the ball. I expected Arsenal to be like physical and all that. I forgot how many fouls there were in that first half. But near the end of the first half, I would say when Arsenal were attacking, I don't know how many players touched the ball in order to do the long throw-in. I think it was, I forgot, I think Havertz had a touch of the ball, and then he passed it on to Declan Rice, I think it was, and then Mosquera, and I'm like, how many players does it take to do the long throw-in or whatever, which I don't know if it led to the corner that blew for halftime. And then when the corner, or well, it was meant to be a corner, what Saka was taking like his entire like, oh, I wonder how it's going to feel like to win the UCL, and he was like just like casual, you could say time wasting or whatever, and then the ref is like, no, bro, you didn't speed up halftime, and obviously we never know what if if Saka was to take that corner, or even if it was Saka, what if Arsenal scored from that corner that the ref blew for halftime. And I'll be honest, at that when that happened, I was applauding the ref, because I think we need those sort of like stop the time wasting, and obviously we'll see that at the World Cup with the throw-in. You need like 5 seconds, and then corners is like 10 seconds. The substitutions, you need 10 seconds to go off the pitch, otherwise something happens and all that sort of stuff. So I kind of hope when the World Cup does happen, like next week, that we see those sort of referee calls and all that sort of stuff gets implemented, because I'm not going to say Arsenal were time wasting in the first half, but it kind of looked like why did it take almost, it felt like 30 seconds or more to take one throw in, and then Saka taking like a minute to go from one side to the other or whatever, to take a corner which wasn't even taken at the end. And then second half, I think PSG, whoever was said at halftime, PSG got better in terms of like the play and all that sort of stuff. And then I remember one of the throw-ins, Mosquera was taking like another 30 seconds. He got booked for taking 10 years, you could say, to do one throw-in that second half. And then later on, as PSG tried to attack, and then when PSG got the penalty call, I was like, that's a yellow card for Mosquera, which technically means a red card, that sort of thing. I think that should have been a second yellow for Mosquera, because he didn't play the ball or whatever, and then obviously PSG converted the penalty. And then I think for the rest of the second half, I'll be honest, I think when the game became 1-1, it actually became a lot more exciting, because Arsenal were actually attacking. They didn't have any shots on target or whatever, and PSG, I'm pretty sure, had like, they hit the post like 2 times or whatever, Kavicha and Barcola, and then Vitinha was close and all that. But it was a lot more open at 1-1 compared to when it was 1-0 Arsenal. And then obviously when extra time came, and then you saw the subs of, Vitinha coming off, Dembele coming off, and all that sort of stuff, I thought that should have been, maybe you bring on, obviously you brought on Gyökeres and all the other players off the bench. I think maybe in extra time, maybe Arsenal should have taken more control of extra time, because I thought at extra time it was just like, let's just settle for penalties. It did feel like that. I didn't really think any team had any opportunities in extra time. And then when penalties happened, it was, you could say, a lottery or whatever. Good save by David Raya on, I forgot who he saved the penalty from. But yeah, Nuno Mendes. But I think the Eze penalty, I mean, I remember Eze taking a penalty when he was at Crystal Palace against Newcastle last season, and he did this sort of same run up, and Nick Pope easily saved it because it was a soft uh, shot or whatever. So I was a little bit expecting Eze might miss or whatever. And I think he kind of did the same with Crystal Palace in another game or something. And
Liverpool.
obviously, against Liverpool, and then Gabriel
Remember-
missed the penalty.
Love that.
Yeah. So I think ultimately, I think Arsenal did what they can, and I can't fault Arsenal for the sort of strategy they did because I think they Arsenal had the perfect strategy. But ultimately, I think the experience that PSG had, because I think PSG over throughout the 120 minutes, I think deserved it in the end in terms of how they played and trying to create more and more opportunities. Because I think if Arsenal, I remember Don C saying about like, oh, he's a bit afraid if Arsenal were to score pretty early, and that's what happened. What if Arsenal scored like in the 60th minute or something a bit later in the game? Who knows what sort of game? Because I think once Arsenal scored early, it was a little bit like, okay, defensive shape and all that sort of stuff. But then obviously, I think the quality of PSG, I think, showed through and the experience as well. So I would say, I think in the end, the better team did win the final ultimately. But I would say, in terms of like next season for Arsenal, before I guess let Blacker speak, I think for Arsenal it's about, yeah, you made it this far in the Champions League final, you won the Prem and made a cup final as well, but I still think there's a lot of improvement for Arsenal with like, I think Odegaard, he has to go. I don't rate him at all. I don't even think like we'll see him with Norway at the World Cup. I don't think Odegaard will do anything with Norway because I don't think he's that good anymore compared to like 2-3 years ago. I think there still has to be some improvement with the attack as well. And obviously, I saw there was like a what do you call it? Like a debate of is Saka, kind of things are changing in terms of like fitness or whatever. So I think there has to be some improvement with the attack and Odegaard or whatever. But I think defensively, Arsenal look good and all that. But I think ultimately, I still think there has to be some improvement because I know people are saying, oh, can Arsenal go back to back in the Prem and maybe make the Champions League final again? Perhaps. But I think also at the same time, there'll be teams like a Real Madrid, a Barcelona who got Anthony Gordon, a Bayern Munich, all these other clubs, and even those in the Prem with Man City trying to get Anderson or Tonali or whoever it may be. There'll be teams improving. If Arsenal don't improve their squad, then can Arsenal go back to back in the Prem? Maybe, but can they make a Champions League final again? I don't know, because I think ultimately there still has to be improvement with Arsenal. So I'll say, obviously, enjoy the moment. Though I did find it a bit funny that Arsenal had a parade the day after losing a game, but that's besides the point. But I think there has to be improvement. Celebrate the now, but throughout the summer and when next season happens, it's a whole new season, and you have also, if Arsenal wants to still be at the top, I think you have to let go of an Odegaard. I don't know about Saka, what the debate is on him or whatever. So I think there has to be, there's still a lot of improvement at Arsenal, probably not defensively, but now it's about, okay, you won a title, so now try to win, you could say maybe win the title, play more, you could say, the Arsenal way, which is attacking football. So yeah, that's my bet. PSG deserve to win.
Yeah, do you know what it's for? That's actually a good assessment. This is what I'm saying, and I'll be saying much more to that. Yo, Black, I know you got to go, so if you got time, just give your quick thoughts, quick. 'Cause I know you got to shoot out quickly.
Yeah, man. So it was a very, very deflating game. So the first half, we were singing all the songs in the pub. We was enjoying ourselves. We could smell the first Champions League. We could smell it. It felt like, it just felt like it was meant to be. But with Arsenal, when we have an opportunity to sort of calm everyone's nerves down, it just seems like that's the moment we don't grab the game by the scruff of the neck. And I just felt like that Havertz chance before half time, that's the opportunity. He takes a heavy touch. If he just secures the ball, takes a nice touch and buries it, it's 2-0, it's game over. Because I don't see a way that they scored 2 goals in that game. They only scored a penalty. Usually, I'd be crashing out in these type of situations, but I feel like because we had the league already, a lot of us fans, like we were sort of content, but it just felt like a opportunity miss, because as soon as that final penalty got kicked over the bar, I'd never seen a place clear out as quick as it did. And that was just because I feel like everyone sort of had the feeling this could be our year. Everything seemed to be going our way. Saka handballing the ball. You know, UEFA, they would be quick to give that. If that was in the Premier League as well, when it come off Trossard's arm, you know, they will be trying to look and try to disallow that goal. So things were going our way. It just felt like, yeah, this is our time. But once again, it's the little things that a manager has to learn. Timber should have surely come on, whether it was half time or if it was 55 minutes. This is the time. And I was saying it, make sure you get Mascara off in the first 10 minutes of the second half. He waited until 65, and this is his problem. He's now got us over the line, but he now needs to be more brave and not overthink things. If something makes sense, then make it make sense. Don't try to overcomplicate it. Mosquera got the yellow. We know this referee, like we known about him. They've now drop kicked his ass out of the World Cup. They said he can't be in the World Cup no
Facts.
more.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
We know why. He's the sacrifice. He's the sacrifice. He was doing a lot of dodgy things, but that's not why we lost. We had the opportunity, like I said, at half time, bury the game, done. Could we have done more? Yes. I believe, I'm sure it was here, all our players are gonna need 7, 8, 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
And unfortunately on the day, the biggest players, Saka, Odegaard,
the babysitter.
are absolutely nowhere to be seen. Our captain, this guy, I think that's one bad performance too many. For me, his time is done. He should be gone. There's no time to keep him. Why are we keeping him for? He's not gonna get no better. So if he's not gonna get no better, you get rid. But now it's up to Arteta. Well, it's not even up to Arteta. It's up to Berta. It's up to Berta to find us the suitors for these players. Bukayo Saka, he's probably got one more season left to prove himself. He's either going to be known as world class or he's going to be known as potentially sold. Because there's no way we can keep allowing the player. He's now our top earner. So when you go from the star boy to the top earner, now this is where we're going to expect you to get us over the line in the biggest moments. I'm pretty sure, was it Salah that scored the penalty against Tottenham in the Champions League final, or was it Milner? Salah?
Yeah,
I think it's
Salah.
Salah.
Yeah.
There we go. Your big players usually step up by hook or by crook. I don't care how. This was where Saka was meant to say, you know what? I'm going to try to do everything I can. And I don't know if he got past Nuno Mendes at any time during the whole game. I don't know if these stats are true. He made 4 passes. I don't know if these stats are true. But this just goes to show us that not everything is rosy in the garden. If we're to be a serious side, we got to go and splash the cash in the attacking areas. We need potentially 3 new attackers. Is that going to happen? And this is my worry. I don't know if this is going to happen, because I believe if we get these extra players, it all but sort of secures the Premier League. It's not fully secure, but you've got one hand on the trophy going into it. You've got the base, you've got the core, but the last thing that's missing is the attack. I've done the team of the season earlier. There's no Arsenal attackers. None. So,
Yeah, it's a shame.
you know what I mean? So a lot of people just need to step up. And if they don't step up, we're going to have to step out and have to remove them ourselves. We're going to have to go to Colney and we're going to have to go and get them out of here, because we can't have this on our watch. We can't have people nicking a living in our club. We're so close. We're so close to doing something we've never done. Next season, we could go back to back and then see if we win the Champions League. So there's still a lot to be positive about, but it was a very painful day. That is for sure.
Right? You see, coming from Blacker himself, and the thing is, he's saying it so calm. Yeah, he's not animated. He's not hype. He hasn't got his pots. He hasn't got the bongos. You know what I'm saying? He's so calm, saying there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? But I know you got to go, Black. So shout out your team before you go, bro.
Yeah, man, propaganda machine. Probably be back tomorrow at some stage for some transfer propaganda. We know there's always propaganda. There's a source called African Foot. I think it's African Kings Burner. They said we've put a £60 million bid in for someone called Bulumungu. I don't know who is Bulumungu.
But
He plays in Lille. So this is the type of propaganda you'll be getting. So come and visit. You won't be disappointed by people. And my brothers on the panel, as you can see, I'm on 0% in my eyes,
that's it.
but I'll be here.
Lord.
Blessings.
Bless you, brother, man.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you for showing
No
up, man.
problem.
Showing up. Bless you, bro.
No worries, man.
Bless you.
Bless, brothers. Have a good show.
Thank you. So, and then there were 3. Yo, King, your thoughts, your fraudulent thoughts on the Arsenal PSG, because I know I have a feeling of what you're going to say, because I haven't spoken to you directly about this, and because I just wanted to stay away from people. I was enjoying my birthday week and enjoying the parade, which we'll talk about in a bit. But your thoughts, my brother.
Before I start, big up Don C. Happy belated birthday, man. I hope you enjoyed your week. Hope you enjoyed the parade as well. And I hope Arsenal fans enjoyed that day. Unfortunately, we lost on the.
Your audio.
Was my sound not working? But yeah.
Your sound. Sorry, people. Because the fraudulent person is being very fraudulent. So do you know his sound always goes when he's being fraudulent, because he's such a fraudulent person.
Is the sound better or no? Let me know.
All right, it's perfect. It's perfect.
All right, cool. Well, I'll start again. First of all, happy belated birthday to Don C. Hopefully you
Respect.
enjoyed the parade and the birthdays and everything. Well, unfortunately, your team had to lose on the Saturday. Football had to be saved from the some of the worst football I've ever seen in a final. First off, you started off strong with the goal. Now, some would say, did it come off Trossard's hands? Who cares, really? You got away with it. You got the goal. Havertz, brilliant finish. Then you kind of just the thing is, PSG didn't play well at all. I think you nullified them for a lot of the game. I think what you did in the first half was what you needed to do: waste time, make sure the game was less on the pitch and more off of it. Didn't allow for Kava or Due or Dembele to kind of play, and then yeah, so you pretty much used the first half just to kind of gauge the game out. Halftime comes in, and to be honest with you, at halftime I thought you were gonna win. I thought PSG didn't look like they were on it, didn't look like they were gonna get a goal, didn't look like they were gonna do anything. Then the second half comes around. Now, there's a game-changing moment that happens. Mascara gets a yellow card for
And
time
people,
wasting.
circling people. I did notice the hat. Normally, when I intro, because he's wearing a hat, yeah, I went introing. I was just like, just get on stage. Like, I'm not doing it right now. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So carry on.
No, I had to change hat. I had to change hat for this segment. I was wearing I had the pink to pink before, but I had to change. Wardrobe and that. Um, all PSG out. But no, second half, Mascara gets that second yellow for the fraudulence of wasting time on a throw in. As soon as he gets that yellow card, Arteta should have took him off for timber. If this was a Serie A manager, a proper manager, as soon as that happens, because you're going up against the best winger in world football at the moment in KK. So the last thing you need to be on is a yellow card. As soon as that happens, he has to come off. But guess what? He doesn't take him off. He waits a bit. And who's the one that gives away the penalty? The guy who's on the yellow card. The guy who already made a mistake by taking time on a throw in, who clumsily falls down. Now, some people say penalty, not penalty, but you gave the ref a decision to make by going to the ground and taking out KK. They get the penalty, they score 1-1. Then it kind of just peters out towards the end because obviously they took off some of their best players. Then Dembele came off, some of their best midfielders, attacks, etc., etc. KK came off injured, Dembele came off, I think Due came off. So most of their better players were coming off even towards when it came towards the penalties. I think the biggest issue for Arsenal was in that whole game, after you scored, you just went to defensive lockdown mode. The only problem is that you never had a counter punch, and you limited your biggest weapon. What's the one thing that you had over them? Size. What's the one thing
Size.
that you've been doing all season that's been
Set
working?
pieces.
Corners. How many corners did you have in that game?
Well, technically, we're supposed to have a call in the first half, but the referee blew the whistle. I
Yeah.
don't know, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but like 3 corners, 2 were taken, something like that. So you limited yourself by not having a counter punch, by not having something that you can return on to them and give you the opportunity to get corners, your biggest weapon in that game. You limited yourself. And listen, when you defend the whole game, one by hook or by crook, more time than not, you're not going to keep a clean sheet against PSG, the best attack in world football. You didn't give them something in return so that they didn't push up their fullbacks, didn't push up their whole team forward. The whole team was in your side of the pitch. You didn't have a counter. For me, the second half, Gyökeres should have came on earlier. The likes of Eze should have came on earlier, and then there should have been a counter punch. Because if you get that counter punch a couple times, all it takes is one corner or one attack where you're 1-on-1 with Marquinhos, and you can get the second goal. You get that second goal, I don't see them scoring another. Like, for me, the only way they were going to score was with the penalty. And then you obviously goes into extra time. That kind of just skates on through, and then it's penalties. Now, the 2 penalties that were taken, well, there was 3 penalties missed. In terms of the Arsenal side, the stutter run up never really works. It doesn't work. The two biggest issues with penalties was Raya should have been taken off for penalties because he seems to dive too early. Every single time he's diving before the ball is kicked. So it makes it easy for the opposition for the most part. The second thing is, why is a centre back taking your fifth penalty? He shouldn't be. It should the first and the fifth penalty should be your two best penalty takers on the pitch at the time. There is nothing in the world that's going to tell me that Gabriel is your top two penalty takers on the pitch at the time. And a man that likes to talk a lot, Madueke, the Maduki Dukes. Why didn't he take a penalty? All that chatting, but when it came to stepping up and actually winning Arsenal their first Champions League, didn't step up to the plate. That's another issue. For me, Arsenal did everything they needed to do in the game, except for offering a counterpunch and utilizing their biggest weapon. And by crippling yourself from the corners, you gave them the opportunity to get back into the game and ended up winning on penalties, which is it's a sour pill to take, because penalties, it can go either way. It's a luck of the draw. But for me, that's the two things that Arsenal should have done is counterpunched and tried to win a couple more corners, because they pretty much spent 2-3 weeks of their own training to deal with corners. They're small. They're a small diminutive team. You get a couple more free kicks and corners, you actually can bully them, but you didn't do that. And this is the thing about this season and why when people talk about Premier League manager of the season, Arteta, I think you won the Premier League in spite of Arteta, and I think the Champions League final shows the bad qualities about Arteta, because when it comes down to the big moments, and you need your manager to have some cojones, he shriveled up. He shriveled up into a little Spanish man in front of Enrique, and he defended after the first goal. When you could have just had a couple more counter punches, even including in that first half when they were playing poor, and you could have gone into halftime 2-0, and then it would have been game over. You would be European and Premier League champions, and them celebrations would even be bigger. They'd be even crazier. You'd be going even madder. But it's a bittersweet bit of pill to swallow, losing that final, and then obviously the celebrations the next day kind of washes it over a little bit. But that's why a lot of Arsenal fans don't want Arteta to be there for the long term, because they know when it comes to the main moments and the two main finals you had this season, he shriveled up against better managers. And then you have some Arsenal fans talking about dynasties, about changing of the guard, about multiple seasons of winning. Have you seen the new rules? The Arsenal rules, I call them. Yeah, man. The time wasting, the cheating, the corner play. It's not going to work next season. Man going to have to start playing some football. Man going to have to start getting some attackers that can actually do their job. Saka can't go to a final and only make 4 passes the whole damn game. Martin Smelly has to go. Drossard has to go. Thank you expressions for the names. No shoulder guard, captain. He ain't a captain. He's a bitch, and he has to go too. Who else do we talk about in terms of this team? For me, in terms of your defenders and goalkeeper, nothing against them. People are gonna be upset with Gabriel, but I think he was the best player on the pitch on the day. He should have never took the 5th penalty. Raya, quality defenders and goalkeeper, they got no blemishes. But the midfield and attack, you got some explaining to do, because it was stinky performances all around. Even when Eze and Gyökeres came on, it was kind of stinky anyway. But that was down to Arteta's tactics as well. So it's a mixture of both tactics and players just not performing. You keep calling Saka a star boy. He's a man now. And in a man's game, he's not showing up. He's got 1 more year for me to actually do something. Because if he has another bad year, he has to go. Skelly was good as well. Lewis Skelly was your best player in terms of your midfield. I would give you that as well. Waneri, next season, you better start playing some games, because if you sell him, you're fools. Because he's better than the current center wingers as well. Maduki Duke, he has to go as well. But yeah, Saka's got one more year, or he should be on the chopping block too, because it's Arsenal Football Club, not Starboy Football Club. And that performance in the final is not worthy of being called a superstar. The only world class players in your team were Gabriel and Raya. The rest of them need to look themselves in the mirror, including Saliba, and realize that this is a big club that needs to be winning Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
It's been too long. This is your second final. You got it up to penalties this time. The next time you're in a final, you must win it. And this group of players has the potential to do so, to get there again, because Europe isn't looking too good right now. But improve that attack and that midfield a little piece. If you improve that attack and midfield a little piece and go again, and if you get to the final, you better win it next time, because you disgraced England. Yeah, Villa did their job, Crystal Palace did their job, but the one team could have made it the three-peat, the treble European for the British clubs. The one team that couldn't get the job done. The one team that has been stinking it out all year. Yeah, I told you, Pedro Mello refs couldn't help you today on that day. And yeah, man, the referee didn't help you. He wasn't on your side that day. Even though there was a couple of things that could have gone the other way. You know, Saka foot was. You know what? Saka had more touches on his hand than with his feet at times in that game. Man was playing basketball. Man was playing the wrong sport. You know what I'm saying? Man was moving like Shea from OKC. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be, he's on the wrong team. But yeah, man. The reason why I slander Saka so much is because I expect more from him. You can't be the main guy and do that in a final. You got to show up. Same with the likes of KK and Due. They didn't show up either.
Yeah.
The attacking talent on display was non-existent. It was one of the stinkiest finals I've ever seen. And for me, going forward, Arsenal need to upgrade that attack and maybe get Saka a little bit more help as well. Because if I see Odegaard and Havertz play for Arsenal next season, there's a problem. They're not good enough. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. I gotta go now because I'm about to watch the NBA final. Big up Donzi for having me on.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, African King Academy. Football was saved, but Arsenal do have the potential to win the Champions League. They just need to make some upgrades and get rid of these bums, because I swear down, some of these players don't deserve to be wearing the Arsenal badge at all. And with that, I'm out. Peace.
Blessings, King. Blessings, King. Yeah, people, make sure you like and subscribe to African King. Yeah, then there was two. Okay. Look, people, he bounced. He bounced when I was about to fucking take the piss out of his life. This is what I'm saying. Like your 10th place finish, you want to come talk to, man. That's all good. He hit me. He gave a fair and honest, fraudulent-ish assessment. You know what I'm saying? For myself, it's a bit hard for this one. Did Arteta get the lineup wrong? Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. And like 10 said it right at the beginning.
It should have been, for me, it should have been Gyökeres instead of Havertz.
Yeah,
Havertz.
Because remember when we was doing our lineups, right? And I said I want Gyökeres to start, and I do not want Odegaard to start, and I want Timber to start. Whether he's fully fit or not, I want him to start, especially if he's gonna play 60 minutes anyway. And in essence, he played 60 minutes anyway. This is what I'm saying. But we'll get onto that. You see, when one thing that 10 said when he first started was that I said that I do not want Arsenal to score early. Because if Arsenal score early, it's not going to end up good for us. Yeah? Because I know Arsenal. Well, I think I know Arsenal. Yeah? And I've seen us score early many times and lose, especially in massive games. And this was a massive game for us. This was a trophy we've never won. This was our chance to put our stamp in Europe. Yeah. Even though we're a massive club known around the world, and King was right when he said we're the biggest club not to do it. Yeah. It's like your favorite actor not winning an Oscar. That's the equivalent. Yeah. To be fair, all right, You see, Havertz, because there's so much in the game that you could talk about where Havertz scoring a second goal, the first goal getting deflected off Trossard. Was it a handball? No, it wasn't a handball. The clearance was too close to his face. He only had time to just put up his hands to just protect his face, because we all know about head injuries. And the only way PGMOL could have actually looked at that is if we kicked the ball on him, on his hand, and then we got an advantage. We didn't get an advantage. Havertz, yes, you could say in essence we got an advantage in one sense, but we really didn't. Havertz just took an opportunity. It was a tight angle. We know the goalkeeper is rubbish. You scored a goal, that's good. One thing was Arteta winning. Arteta went in his shell. Yeah, Arsenal done what Arsenal did, but then we got to take it into consideration that, to be honest, the only people that thought we was going to win was more Arsenal supporters. That's just because we're in the final and we just won a Premier League, so we're on a high. In essence, we got nothing to lose because it's a final. Well, obviously we got nothing to. We got it all to lose, but you don't know what I mean. Yeah, we're in a final. PSG is supposed to be, or is in many people's eyes, the best footballing team in the world. So to lose against the best footballing team in the world on penalties, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not disappointed. Yeah, because they're the best team in the world. It's not like we lost to a
Newcastle.
no, not even Newcastle. Let's say who got in the later stages. Let's say Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm being respectful as possible, people. Like, to lose against a team like PSG, who are, let me say again, the best team in the world, it's okay. Yeah. Big up Scoops, yeah, each and every time. Catch him on Monday on Mud Brothers and Sheet TV, people. Look, right, when I saw Mosquera starting, I thought, you know what? It's going to be a bit shaky, but he done well until that moment. Yeah. Odegaard, like, I think it was Jack Swagger that said it in the chat. Odegaard was ball watching when they was playing the 1-2s. If he was doing his job, and we all know Odegaard likes to mark space, and I'm trying to be respectful to him as well, because normally I call him a babysitter. Odegaard was marking space as usual, but that's what he does. So I'm not surprised at him doing that. I just thought that as the talisman that's just come in the team, which I didn't want, I thought he was going to actually show up, because not everything can be forgiven over 90 minutes, whether it's a trophy win or not, but it's on the way of mending, or do you know when you've got a scar that's healing, right? The mark's always going to be there, but the fact that it's healing, he's on the road. But this is why I've been calling him out for near enough 2 years, 2.5 years. I've been calling him out. Yeah, he's lived on that fucking 6 months of hype, because that's what he was. Just remember, people, when he first came in, he was injured, and we wanted Ceballos. We got Odegaard, but nevertheless, he's in the team. He wasn't good enough. Yeah, Saka. We could talk about PSG's defensive structure and what they did nullifying and they did neutralize Saka. But what people don't realize, who was it? Nuno Mendes was on their left back, innit? Yeah, he had a hamstring problem. So why didn't Saka use his brain on that one? Hakimi, was he going to start? Wasn't he going to start? Is he injured? Isn't he injured? Trossard didn't do enough to try and get behind him. But then, how are we going to get the balls to them if we're defending so deep? We were inviting pressure at times. We weren't trying to play our usual style. Yeah. First half, yeah, it was a dead match. Like 10 was right. In the second half, it opened up after they scored a goal. But we had to. Yeah. Big up, Saka Lakaboot, is what I'm saying. Good to see you too, my brother, yeah? Look, right, I don't want to actually shit on all of these players, because you know what, right? We won a trophy in 22 years, but we have to talk about the game. Second half, right? My issue is, it's not actually how you start, because managers get it wrong. Managers get it wrong all the time, no matter what kind of manager you are. But the fact that he reacted again, you see, before Prime came off stream, And Prime did say, like certain times when I say certain things, he doesn't always agree with it. He understands it, but most of the time, it's the way I say it. But the substitutions, and I've been saying this for a while now. People talk about the substitutions when we're losing. I talk about them when we're winning because I see the other teams and the lack of quality of what they have in their team. The reason why we've won a lot of these games. Yeah, you see, we done our first two substitutions on 65 minutes. A reaction again towards the penalty, a reaction, and it was Timber who I wanted to start and Jokovic who I wanted to start. Jack Swagger had a point. Jokovic didn't come on and take the game by the scruff of the neck because we were defending, so we was always already in that structure. Yeah. Sometimes a game like that, it's hard to come in and feel the tempo and feel the kind of game because it was such a tremendously fast tempo that PSG was doing, and it was hard for us to match them. But then we kept them out for so long and we gave it to penalties. So this is why I have to rate the lads. Yeah. One of my issues are if you know that Mendes has a hamstring problem and Ikebe, why don't we start pacing players? Yeah. When Madueke and Martinelli came out, Martinelli's trash, we all know that. But one thing that we know Martinelli can do is run out of player. He might not do much, but he can run out of player. They both came on in 83 minutes. 83 minutes he came on. Let me say that one more time. 83 minutes. Look, right, when Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, so we've got possibly, we had, excuse me, we had the Ballon d'Or winner come off, the possible Ballon d'Or winner to be come off it as well. Yeah, two of the best players in the world come off the field. Why did we react? Why did it take us that long? We could see that they were both struggling from when we saw Kvaratskhelia with that mark on his leg. And then we saw Dembele limping 3 minutes before he got taken off. Why did it take so long to react? Now, if we have them off the field, we don't, like Barcola is trash. He is horrible, yeah? All we needed to do was step up a yard or few yards up the field and put him to the sword, which you saw us do. But it was too little too late at that point. You get me? Now, all the momentum is in their half, yeah? We weren't penetrating as we should. We should have been taking pot shots outside of the box because their goalkeeper's trash. He's the weakest player, him and Marquinhos. We wasn't isolating them. And the moment we isolated them, we got the first goal. Yes, Havertz should have scored that. Havertz should have scored that second chance in the first. That second chance in the first half.
Mm.
We would have won that game at that point. That's why I said that. Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah. Jokovic wasn't great when he came on. Madueke had one run behind Mendes, but then that's all he had. He was doing that enough. Arsenal lost the game, in my opinion. Arteta lost the game by his decisions. Yes, PSG's a great team. This is why they're double fucking European champions. But we should have done a lot better. We should have a lot better with maintaining, keeping the ball, playing in transitions, because we're a good footballing team where we want to be. So I didn't see the issue. Yeah. And this is why even before I've been calling out Arteta's name because of this. This is the moment that can solidify his place with the Arsenal fandom. He won us a trophy in 22 years, or a league trophy. If he would have won us our first European title and a Champions League ever, yeah. In a lot of these, let's say top gooners, which name I hate, yeah, he's their idol. You get me? He's their idol. And for me, as negative I've been in time, or when Arsenal do better thing, that's my agenda, just Arsenal do better. He would have went up a few ratings in my eye because we didn't just win the Premier League. We beat the best footballing team in the world, on the planet, I should say. No one can tell us nothing this season. No one can sing Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. In an H. Pussy, yo. Yeah? No one could tell us nothing. But we didn't. Yeah? The penalties came along. And when it comes to penalties, it's more of potluck. Yeah? Yeah? Even. Good night, my brother. Good night, my brother. Yeah, blessings. Yeah? When it comes to penalties, it's more potluck. For me, and for me only, Eze didn't look like he was scoring. The way he shaped up, the way he stuttered, he waited for the keeper to make a move. Technically, he's a lot better than that. Did the occasion get to him? You know what it happens. We've seen John Terry slip in those moments. You know what I'm saying? We see great players slip in those moments or not hit the target. That is right against Arsenal. We've seen this so many times. But yet, it would have been nice for him to score, but it is what it is. We saved the next penalty. Then Gabriel stood up. And just like Blackett, in my opinion, that's the man of the match. Because for me, he's been the best Arsenal player this season, the most consistent Arsenal player this season. Even when I think it was against Bournemouth when it was his mistake for the goal. Do you know what he did at the other end? He scored a winner. That's what a captain is. In that game, he was immense. Getting in the middle, immense. You see, my problem is that the substitution that was too late and the sub that came on. And even the penalty takers, because even though it was the players that put themselves up for the penalty, Arteta is supposed to his best 5 technical players that's on the field are supposed to be the 5 players to actually take the first 5 fucking penalties. Where's Zubimendi in this? He's a coward. He's a fucking coward. Like, he's supposed to take that 5th penalty because we missed one and we saved one. Yeah. Now it was back. It could have been all evens again. He's supposed to step up and take the penalty because technically he's supposed to be better than Gabriel. Technically, striking the ball. There's a reason why Gabriel's a defender, and there's a reason why who is it? Superman is supposed to play there, but he pussied out. He pussied out. And then we're here. I can't excuse me, people, this should come from a cold. I can't knock the Arsenal lads for doing this, especially like the back 4. I can't, even the mascara mistake. Because that's all it was. It happens. I can't knock Skelly and Declan Rice because that Skelly, that run that he did for Barcola to stop him after playing so long on the field, and Barcola being fresh. Barcola was in front of him at one stage, and then he made Barcola foul him. What a baller. What a baller. Declan Rice, same thing. I can't knock him. It's just the front. Yeah? Saka wasn't good enough. Trossard needs to go. Unfortunately, technically, he's brilliant. But age catches up with all of us, unfortunately. I should know that. It's my birthday the other day. Age catches up with us. And when you're playing, especially in the creme de la creme, you need ballers that's pacey and techie at the same time. Unfortunately, my man's got tech, but he's got no pace anymore. We saw him try to do a race with Akimi. Yeah? He tried to run past him. Akimi said, "Are you stupid? You're an unk now in football terms. Be an unk." Yeah? This is why I wanted pacey players to start, yeah? And then you play the techie players afterwards when these men are tired. After man has been running at them for how long? But Arteta did it the other way. And it didn't work. It wasn't good enough. Unfortunately, these are the players that need to go. Trossard needs to go. Martinelli needs to go. Yeah? I'm even thinking Zubameni needs to go. Yeah? He's not good enough. Havertz, yeah, I'll keep Havertz. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah? Odegaard needs to go. Our captain needs to go. He's not good enough anymore. Ben White needs to go. Jesus, go. Piss off. And I'm glad Zinchenko's gone. 1st of June. I know the contract ended. I can't stand him. These are the players that needs to go for us to kick on and move forward. Because we've outgrown these players. Saka needs to step up. Cool, he's lost a yard of pace. Cool, injuries has got to him. But do you know what? As a baller, when your pace goes, you're supposed to now use your footballing brain. Find a way. Jinky me jinky it. Get past your player. Because if anyone tells me you need speed to get past a player, I'll tell you there's a player called Zidane. There's a player called Xavi. There's a player called Busquets. Yeah? There's a player called Ribery. He wasn't pacey, but he made man look slow. There's a player called Perez. He wasn't pacey, but he made man look slow. You get me? So they need to start actually figuring it out. He needs to start figuring it out now. Yeah? And like I said, I'm not going to hit on the players because you know what, yeah? The majority of these lads that play that game, do you know what, yeah? Like, I was like a proud father looking down at them and saying, do you know what, right? You lot did well. But next season we need to do better. Because doing well that doesn't win you a European trophy. Doing better does. Yeah? Being switched on for 90 plus minutes does. Scoring goals. We're supposed to have the best defense in Europe, yeah? We've got it in the league, but in Europe, we're supposed to have one of the best defenses in Europe. Now it's time to rely on the defense and make the attacking players play. Do their job. Gyökeres needs to start these games. We bought a marquee striker to start these games. And if he fails, then do you know what? Yeah, he fails. But I'd rather fail with my striker on the field for majority of the minutes than a makeshift and still fail. I got told if Gyökeres was in that position, would he have scored? Who knows? Because he wasn't there. He wasn't there. That's the difference. I can't talk about hypotheticals of what could have been or what should have been because it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I just know that he got it wrong. To tell you how I know he got it wrong, one team won, one team lifted up the trophy, and the other team came second. Again. So he got it wrong. Yeah? Look, right, Arteta, like, whether I want Arteta in or out, it doesn't matter because he's here. He's here for the following season. The difference is now he's here as the only manager in the Premier League to have won a Premier League. He's the most experienced manager to do it now. What's he going to do next season? That's what I care about now. Even though we're champions of England, and you know what, yeah, I'm going to run with that until the end of next season. But what's he going to do from this point on? Now it's the World Cup. Now, for me, it's time for him to be thinking about strategy next season. When the window opens, what is it, the 14th or the 16th of June? Who are we going to buy? 15th. Who are we going to buy? Who are we going to release? Yeah? What can we get to make our team better? Right? Because we all know that we're going to have like the last few seasons, we had a target on our back. Now, it's shown we have the whole footballing rival world on our backs. People are making up agendas. People are making up this hate for Arsenal because it's Arsenal. Because before we was a banter club, before I was a man like Flawless, big up Sarcasm City TV every time. Make sure you like and subscribe to it. He used to put up a fucking timer of when the last time Arsenal have won a trophy. Arsenal have won a league. He put those timers, it pissed me off. Yeah? He's been running with that whole Tottenham gimmick for how long? And now he can't because we won the fucking title. You get me? But what is he going to do next season being the most experienced manager to do it? Yeah? This is Arteta, the person I wanted out. He's going to have a massive target on his back now. What are we going to do next season? That's what I'm more focused on right now. I'm enjoying the moment still, but I'm focused on what's the next steps now. Because now it's like this year, people. For me, when you set the bar, that's the standard I'm going to have you at. King said it about Saka. That's the standard. Arteta's here now. He's here now because he won the league title. Forget how he won it. Forget if people want to talk about the most set pieces. Forget if it's another clean sheet. Forget if they said PG and MOL helped us out. because people refer back to the fucking Newcastle game when any idiot knows that was a free kick, and they don't see the foul that was on Havertz. But it is where it is. Forget all of that. We won. We gave Man City the opportunity to come back plenty times. But as soon as we open up the door, they shut it themselves. They're like, "No, I'm good. I'm okay to sit out in the rain and get wet like that and catch a cold." That's what he did. Yeah. So we won it. Whether you like it or not, whether you got a jet against Arsenal or not, we're the champions of England. Because if you're saying this was shit, this league was shit, and I'm going to do a stream on it next week about it, don't watch that. All right. If we're saying that was shit, we're better than all of your motherfucking clubs. You lot should have done better. It's as simple as that. Yeah? Do a lot better to stop us. You're saying we're all we do is set pieces? Put 2 men on the halfway line. Then they'll think about pushing everyone in the box or so high up. That's what you need to do. But your clubs have to figure that out. Stupid Don Ciaz. Again. That's what you need to do. But Arteta needs to show me what he can do for next season. Yeah? And to be honest, people, it wasn't good enough. We can't even class us as bottlers because we were going up against the best team in Europe. We were underdogs. Everyone apart from Arsenal fans thought we were going to win. And the thing is, you can't take a lot of what Arsenal fans say against their own club because it's their own club. So they're going to back their own club in a final. Ten did that when it was the Carabao Cup final. Whether he thought they was going to win or not, it was against Man City, the best team in England at that point. Yeah, Pep's Man City. So Liverpool.
Yeah, we beat on the spot.
Yeah, so it was on the slot. Yeah, and this was against the best Liverpool because they won the season. They literally won the league. Yeah, and Newcastle did it, right? So you have to back your team in the final. That's what it's about. Yeah, but you know, regardless, we didn't win it. We move on to next season, as people say. But like I said, the difference is next season we're coming in as your current champions. Yeah, your current champions. Let me say that to the people at the back. Your current Premier League champions. So now we've done it in the social media era. We're no longer the banter club. We're no longer a club that hasn't picked up a big major trophy. Yeah, because we've won it. Yeah, whether you don't like it or not, whatever agenda you lot are spraying, no matter how much hate you don't want to show, we are champions. Yeah, of you lot. We are the kings of yous. So when you lot come into my stream, address me as Sir Don Champion Ole O fucking Lay. People, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. This is what I'm saying. We're going to close out very shortly. Before I do that, yeah, I just want to quickly touch on the parade. The parade was nice. There's a lot of people there. Me and Ozzy linked up. I was going to see so many other people, but reception was crap, and I don't like walking. I drive a lot. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see the whole area is lit up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was red and white, all red and white. Like, everyone was singing, everyone was hype, everyone was on a vibe. It was nice. Yeah. You see the rival fans coming down. You see, for me, I don't like to police people at all. No, I'm not that. But I think it's very shameful. Yeah, that people come down. It's like I saw something on TikTok the other day, not TikTok, Instagram. My daughter sent it to me. There's a chick, a Man United chick, and she does this a lot. She goes to games and stuff like that for views and stuff, and I think that's pathetic. And she came to the Arsenal. She was on Holloway Road, and she was trying to make content and video where they're Man United kissing the badge. Like, to be honest, she didn't come around my part. Did she? Like because my part was full of people, and they would have never let her get away with it. And people, I'm not into the violence thing or none of that. That's long. But what I will say is, yeah, let people celebrate their stuff. Yeah, there's a time and a place for things. The time and the place, because you know what it is, when people do get hurt, they want to be like, oh yeah, but then it's only this. No, some people actually die. They die hard. Leave people alone. And it's such a shame. Yeah, the person. It's funny because I would reference this person now. Yeah, that like Chuck the Builder. We saw what he was about. Yeah, he was always antagonizing people for no reason. And look where he is. Yeah, leave people alone. Yeah, that's all I got to say about the situation, blood. Did you hear about the parade, bro? Did you see pictures and drone pictures and all that? I got 3 drone pictures I need to fucking put out. I just haven't edited them yet, people. Yeah, they will.
The only one I saw, like just randomly, was when I think it was probably exiting near the Emirates or something, and there was barely anyone in terms of like the shot it was, I think. And I was like, you know what? It's funny how Arsenal's parade and there's barely anyone in that. It was like on Sky Sports or whatever, like one of the earlier, like before they went out to actually go through the whole street or whatever.
Sorry for cutting you off. You mean the agenda that they tried to pull when they said that Emirates is closed off to all public, which they stated to everyone, and they gave everyone a map of where everyone's going to be? You mean that part there, the agenda?
Like what do you call it? Like there was, I don't know what area it was.
It's the bridge behind the Emirates Stadium. Yeah,
I think so. That one, and it was barely any fans. I was like, where are all the Arsenal fans?
Sky Sports, yeah, big Sky Sports pushing that narrative out, the agenda, yeah, and they say people don't hate us, but okay, go on, brother.
But yeah, I mean, I saw just some pictures or whatever. I didn't really care too much. Ultimately, I mean, for me, the only thing was like from that Sky Sports video I saw on X was like it kind of did look like some of the players were a bit down or whatever, because it was literally like within 24 hours after losing a game, which for me, I'm not really a big fan of like doing the celebration. I think for me, I feel like Arsenal should have done the celebration like I don't know how it's like, maybe on a, now that you won the Prem, maybe like on the Monday before the Champions, like the Monday after you beat Crystal Palace, or Tuesday or whatever, and then the next day, like a Tuesday or whatever, you go to Budapest, train and whatever, because you never know what happens with the Champions League final or whatever. I know it was probably hoping to have that, but you can't play with fate, because I remember when Newcastle won the Carabao Cup, we did our trophy celebration before we played our next match, wherever. I think we played Brentford, so we had, well, I think it was like a FA Cup weekend, but we weren't in the FA Cup, so we just did the celebration like a week before or a few days before we played Brentford, which was our next game. So I would say it probably should have been better if you guys did it on the Monday after beating Crystal Palace. And but yeah, that's what I saw from the videos or pictures or whatever.
Yeah, no, like I said, for at the beginning, when they first came out of the Emirates Stadium, they made a point of closing the Emirates and anything around there, Drayton Park, Holloway Road into the Emirates, simply because of how many fans that they was expecting, and that was only because of less, like I say, the man them walk in the park. When the Arsenal fans assembled when we won the league, yeah, from literally 10 people sitting on their chairs to 100,000 people in and around the stadium, blocking off the whole roads, not even roads, blood. It was mental. Not once, but a few times. So I understand why, because normally what they used to do was go to the town hall in Upper Street and then drive down to the Emirates, have a speech there, then have a speech down at the Emirates, lift the trophy, the bus goes through, lift the trophy and everything. But because of the expected people that was there, and trust me, people, it was mad, mad. They had to do it over a few miles, and every spot that they went to was packed. When I say packed, it was, bro. There was people on top of friggin' houses. There's a place called the Garage in Highbury Corner, just right outside Highbury Tube Station, the Victoria line, the Piccadilly line, and overhead, whatever. Mate, it's like a nightclub, yeah. People were standing on top of it. There were hundreds, blood. When I say there was people, bro, this was a parade. This was a parade for the ages. This set the bar, the standard, of what parades should look like in big clubs, unlike Man City. But it is what it is. Don't shoot the messenger. Just look at their parade. Them man, okay, how many people can fit in Man City's ground? What is it like?
I
50 something?
think it's like 60 or something.
Yeah, 60.
And I
Yeah.
think they're expanding to like, you might as well say 1,000 more. Or wow.
Let's just say everyone that was in the street, they told us to go into the stadium, yeah, to have their parade, and they had, let's say, another 100, 200 people on the field. So let's just say 62,000. Let's just say that, round it up to that, yeah. Could be a bit more, could be a bit less, yeah. We had that on one strip, yeah, one strip. Yeah, they were saying it was over 1 million people that came, yeah. So, like, when people say Arsenal's not a big club, yeah, just look at the parade. Like the thing is that I don't agree with that, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't agree with rival fans going there because they want to catch a vibe. We're there to celebrate our club's victories. I hate that shit. Yeah, you're not gonna catch me on no fucking Man United. Tottenham, can you see? Can you imagine
last season.
Tottenham, bro? Tottenham, bro. Are you crazy? Oh, never go to another man's parade. You must be fucking mad. Yeah, people that did cool with it. Like no. Let me rephrase that. If I had a job to do where I was getting paid to interview people at a parade, or my kids were a supporter of a team that I don't support, and they were young, I will bring them because I would never stop my kids from doing something that they have a passion to do. Yeah, and I will bite the bullet and take them there. But you'll never see me singing songs. You'll never see me supporting them. You'll never see me doing nothing like that. People went down because they wanted a vibe. Yeah, that's what's wrong with football. That there is what's wrong with football. Like, support your club. Yeah, if your club ain't winning, whatever. Yeah, leave it for the Arsenal fans. But that's my opinion. Anyway, bro, any last words before we kick out?
I mean, nothing much. Obviously, you can catch me on my channel here. On Sunday, like 10 p.m. UK, I'll be doing a World Cup trivia sort of show or whatever with a few other content creators and all that. So, going to enjoy that. And then, obviously, more World Cup stuff when it comes out. And I know earlier today, Spain 4, England 0 in the women's game. So, that was pretty nice to see, obviously, here in Spain. But yeah, it was good to be on the show and all that. And then one final news, Newcastle has a new goalkeeper and Nick Pope could actually leave Newcastle as well. So maybe we'll 26, 27 would be technically our 100-year anniversary of not winning a first division title. 100 years. That seems like a nice round number. We'll see. But yeah, good to be on.
Nah, man. Thank you, people. Man. Make sure you're liking to Ten's channel. This is what I'm saying. These links in my description as well. Or just type in the name. Don't be lazy. Just type in the name. But make sure you like and subscribe and show them some love. Go over there at 10 p.m. Bro, just message me. Just message me to remind me, please, because my brain is forgetful. And to be honest, I've got my last day tomorrow of my birthday. My wife's got something planned. Yeah, it's gonna be mad. Yeah, or later on today. You know what I'm saying? For me, people, I can't tell you next time I'm gonna be on stream. I know I've got Mud Brothers on Monday on Sheet TV, but on Donversation TV, I need to do something in a week, but it'll probably be about 10 o'clock next week. But if you're liked and subscribed, you know exactly when I'll be doing it. You know what I'm saying, people? Yeah, manners and respect. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time zone you're in. Keep warm because it's cold outside. And in London right now, or in England, it's been raining. Is what I'm saying. It's supposed to be a summer, but it is what it is, people. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, keep liking, keep subscribing, and if you're in that kind of mood, keep sharing. This is what I'm saying. Arsenal, we are your champions, and please, people, yeah, start calling out bullshit. Look after each one another. You know what I'm saying? We're only streamers out here. We're just here to have fun. Anyone got any issues? Go fuck yourself.